Hello everyone and welcome to Överallt Disc Golf Park. My name is Joona Terävä and I'm here with Brian Earhart in the booth. Hello Brian, how are you doing this morning?
Oh man, I am just fantastic. We are right here, bridge of the nose of the country of Norway, right by the fjords. One of the most beautiful places we're ever going to play disc golf on planet Earth. And the PCS Open, just a tournament that I'm really excited to call again. I mean, back in 2023 when we had it again, we watched the players fall in love with this place, truly. And I think what's special about Uvras is that it's truly a farm-to-fairway course. It started out with a dream, and Sievert, the man who owns this property and runs this facility, started building baskets out of tires when he was just falling in love with the game for the first time. And now, over the years, he's built this into a field of dreams type course where now we're getting the best players in the world here to compete and starting this march to the World Championships.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking the same, and I think this course really emphasizes the grind that we see in the disc golf every day in the player level, but we also see it on the courses. They are being grinded, they are being from scratch built up to this greatness, you could say, in this case.
Yes, and I think the style of course that we have in front of us is not a long one. So again, we talk about this march to the World Championships. The players get to come overseas from the United States, and they don't have to throw their arm off. They get to play a little bit of technical golf. They get to see the beautiful fjords in the background. Yeah, it's just a wonderful start to this event.
Absolutely.
We're going to bring in our third member of the broadcast, Nate Perkins. Nate, you are down on the ground there in Norway. Talk to us. Paint us the picture. Where are we right now?
Well, you just said it, Brian. We're right in the heart of the Fjordlands, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world. And I'm actually going to take us back to the 6th century, Brian. Middle of the 6th century, there was a volcanic eruption from Iceland. It covered the sky in ash, and in an already unstable environment in Scandinavia, it triggered a series of dominoes that led the Vikings on their path to rise to power, right? 1,500 years later, the Viking traditions are carried on here at the Great Hall at the Överås Disc Golf Park. They had a ceremony, an opening ceremony for the players that included a musician that carried on some of those traditions. So really special place to be playing disc golf, and really cool to just get a brief glimpse of that Viking culture. Can't wait to get out there. These are the calmest conditions I think these players have seen in the past 2 weeks. We have no sign of rain in the next 4 and 5 hours. So scores are going to be as low as they can possibly be this week, because Saturday and Sunday we're going to have wind and rain. Back to you guys.
Absolutely beautiful. The kind of current conditions seen on the screen. Temperature is beautiful summer weather, I'd say, for Norway, 13 degrees, and relative humidity of 61. So it's I'd say it's dry.
And what Nate said, prime scoring conditions right now, but last year, or the last time we played here, the winning score, I believe, was 6 under par total. This course is tough, and it forces the players to play very tactical golf, and I don't think any player is going to get to outclass the rest of the field in regards to just skill alone. You have to come with a good game plan, and you're going to find yourself in situations where your game plan doesn't get achieved, and you're going to have to be resourceful.
I couldn't agree more, and I think it's a long weekend ahead, lots of throws, and it's not going to be sorted on the first day. I'm not sure if it's going to be sorted on the second day, but I think it's going to be a very exciting third day, where we are going to see lots of breakouts and maybe something happening in the chase card and building up to the very, very great ending. But we'll see. So next we are going to see Hold My Back picks by Esa-Pekka. I'm covering for Esa-Pekka, so we see Esa-Pekka here on the screen. He has picked up a great field of players on Hold My Back Fantasy Disc Golf. I see Isaac Robinson, Tier 1. Well, that's something to be expected in this kind of course where there's a technical wood golf, and I think, Brian, you can agree that that's going to be Isaac's wheelhouse.
Well, and when I break this course down, I think guys like Aaron Gossage, even Bradley Williams, Paul Ulibarri, guys that have both spins, I think that matters a lot. But we've seen time and time again, both of the Robinson brothers have blown us away at shredding some of these hybrid courses where you do seem to have both sides. But yeah, Isaac's ramping up to Worlds, so you know he's coming into good form.
Yeah, some heat is coming in. So you can play your own Hold My Bag Fantasy Disc Golf at holdmybag.dg.com, and you can win $1,000 top prize. So that's something to look forward to, and lock yourself in and check what you can do, and maybe outpick us with better picks from the field.
Not sure how much better you can get. Not too bad.
So the European stretch, well, it's not a stretch anymore, but the DGPT Europe standings, they are separate from the worldwide standings, and we see Rachel Turden doing and holding the #1 position, and I think she has grinded a lot. I think grinding is the word of the day, and you can see it on the scoreboard here, and I think we are going to take a look a little bit later on the world standings, and you're going to see the same result there.
Blows me away about this leaderboard is Julia Force, 13 years old in 5th place, just right up amongst the best players in the world. And then Ida Emilia Nessa, who we're about to see on one of the feature cards, is still hanging up there as well.
Yo, that blows my mind. Absolutely. And as I said about the grinding, Holly Hanley doing the work, playing the competitions, and that's a dominant lead by now, but the season is still young, and there's lots of goal to be played. From my point of view, the Cadence Birch, she is having a stretch.
Another teenager that's coming to form in multiple ways. The poise that she's showing on the course, that win in Des Moines was just fantastic. And it's a common theme. All of these players up here on this leaderboard are slowly rising, and the bar is rising quickly. I remember Evelina Salonen said back at the U.S. Women's Championship, I didn't think I could ever win a tournament again at one point because the level of play was getting so good. And I think it only bodes well for us fans and viewers of disc golf that all of these women are finding what it takes to actually push through and win a championship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And on today's feature cards, I think we're going to see the generational change in disc golf. We're going to see experienced players, and then we're going to see these young guns coming in and blazing the doors, and we're going to see what happens. But hopefully we'll see an exciting weekend.
I know for a fact the very final card of the day is just going to paint a picture for the fans without us even having to do anything. Both Idas, 15 and 17 years old, playing with two players who arguably are the most influential ever in FPO history, Paige Pierce and Kristen Lott. Are you kidding me?
I couldn't imagine anything better. I think that's something to look for today. And let's hope that the pressure doesn't get too high. Do you have any pro insights on how to handle the pressure? You have been young once, and you have played these high pressure situations.
Well, I've never played in a situation like this before. You wake up and you're Ida Letomaki, you're 15 years old, and you're going up against two players that are more than double your age with all the accolades in the world. And frankly, the reason that both Ida Emilia Nessa and Letomaki are dreaming of being professional disc golfers is because of the two women that they're playing with today. And the dynamic there's probably some feelings of pride from Paige and Kristen, but also some feelings of, oh boy, I better bring my A game or these kids are going to beat me.
Absolutely. We are taking a look at the second feature card. We are having a top-notch players there as well. And unfortunately, Silva had to drop out, and we have a Matila Ringboom instead of her. Silva catched cold, and hopefully she gets better soon so she can continue conquering the fairways.
25 presented by Innova. We are ready for second feature card. First on tee from Pirkala, Finland, Team Innova. Evelina Salonen.
I think it's exciting to see Evelina play this weekend, and she has played so well during the last weekends, and she's having a time of her life.
From
So
Hamad,
excited to see her
Norway.
play.
Sigurd Banks, Anniken.
How do you feel,
Christiansen,
Brian?
Sten.
Do you think Evelina can keep up the hot streak and maybe show us how to play again?
I think she's in a really good state of mind right now. I think now anything after these major wins is a bonus for her. Anniken Sten, on the other hand, has mentioned some feelings of maybe not burnout, but definitely feeling tired from the strain on going overseas, coming back overseas, playing week in and week out. But she says she's in a good state of mind as well mentally.
California, United States. And Team Innova.
I'm happy to see
Kuna
Gunnarstad Montgomery playing. It's exciting to see she in the feature card and show what she's got, since she has coming back to Innova, and she has been touring for a long time, and excited for her.
It's pulled over just a little bit. Just a gorgeous opening tee shot. Fjords in the background. Safe in bounds.
And I think I like to look at the basket. You are
From,
putting uphill, so
Tyresö,
there's no fear
Sweden.
behind. You can just shoot it.
Team Innova. Matilda Ringbom.
And here's a moment that you get to sink into as a player. Silva drops out because of sickness. You get to take this feature card spot. Second highest rated player in Sweden. I believe points leader in the FPO division in Sweden.
Can you see this beautiful turnover shot?
What a start.
I think there was no nerves at all on that shot. So Evelina is still leading the way, I'd say, in this card, and setting the bar. I'd expect her to set the bar and the tone for the round. What do you think will be the Evelina's key to success during this first round of disc golf? Do you think she's going calm, or is she going to shoot it straight away?
I think she's going to be really calm, and I think that's where she thrives the most. I talked to her before this tournament, and she said the difference between myself this year and last year is that I've stopped worrying about every little thing. I've enjoyed the game of disc golf. I've enjoyed the competition side of disc golf more than I ever have. And when a player like her is having fun, you can tell that that's when she's playing her best. And she said she's never been in a better state of mind. Look at all these aces in huge championships. USWDGC crashes the ace, and this is on the Women's Sports Network, one of the first tournaments that's been broadcasted across the board to millions of households.
And then here, EDGZ, 122 meters downhill, and just blasts the basket.
And this is what I love about both of these aces. You can tell she's just firing away. She's enjoying the wonder that the sport of disc golf gives her. And the other thing, on a serious note, the putt, she says she's somewhat fixed it, but all it is just putting harder. That's all she said. That's been the key to success for her.
Absolutely. And I think it's the flow state that you need to achieve. When you get into flow state, you can just free roam and enjoy, as you said. I think that's the most important part in such a high-level game. When you have the nerves, don't let them in and just enjoy the moment.
And I think that's what this course and this tournament does to the players. It kind of forces you into a state of awe. And yes, you could be having a rough day out there, but then just zoom out a little bit. Look where we are in the world, and look where disc golf is taking you. And I've heard that sentiment from a lot of players.
It is just an amazing scenery, and the fjords behind. I couldn't imagine any better place.
There's a lot of par threes on this track. It's a little bit shorter compared to what they play mostly on tour. A lot of short birdies that you got to get here.
How do you feel about the course changes? Because I've heard that there have been actually quite many course changes for the FPO especially. So how do you feel about that? Is it good to make the courses a little bit different approach for the FPO compared to MPO fields?
I think overall, and just low with the tailwind for Anniken, but some baskets have been pushed back. to kind of force players to throw something a little bit more technical. Some OBs tightened up a little bit. I think the game plan is the same that I've picked up in years past from players. Play smart, play strategy first. Don't get too aggressive. Find the landing zones out here, and you should be successful. And like we've seen with scores overall, you don't need to go 10 under par per round to win this tournament.
Absolutely. Davis saw a tap-ins for par on the hole number 1. And then we are moving to a new part of the course. The holes 2 and 3 have been removed, and we will see something new coming up.
And with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break here on the Disc Golf Network. We will see you on the other side for our feature card here in round number 1.
So here's a Clifton Lads daily fantasy position this weekend for the PCS Open. I think it's going to be exciting, and people are still counting on her, even though she has had a little bit troubles along the fairways and a little bit on the putting green, something not so common to be seen, but I think she's going to bring the heat still today. To participate in the regulated sports wagering and DGPT events, or to play the DGPT Daily Fantasy, head over to nextbets.com/playdgpt.
Okay, Evelina on hole 2. It's a little bit straighter shot than the MPO have to throw. They can get away with a little subtle hyzer. It's a great shot from Evelina. As a lefty, though, this is touchy.
Extremely touchy. When you see the sloping fairway to the right, you really have to push it to the left side of the basket and hope it coming out. Beautiful.
Speaking
shot
of hope,
from
I think
Anniken.
she was hoping the whole time that disc was in the air.
Oh, that was something. Maybe a little bit lucky through the branches, but couldn't hope for anything better.
Hardheiser down the right side. You just got to take something neutral. You don't need to overshape this shot. You got a lot of ground to play with. You have that slope that the righty Heisers can kind of crash into.
Oh, such a heartbreak of a hit.
And I'm not sure if the OB curls around back there, but that's not going to be a good spot.
Now we are seeing some highlights from previous years. Annika Sten playing here with Rachel Turner and Katarina Stalesen. I believe this was the year that Anniken won the competition.
It was a grind of a tournament. You see what they're at over par right now. It was brutal golf, and towards the end, Rachel Turton was throwing almost all standstill, dealing with an injury, and Anniken just held her off. And this was a big deal for Anniken. I think this is when the world started to see that there was going to be a lefty in the FPO division that was about to do some damage, and it's just been great to see her progress over time.
Absolutely, and then we are moving on to 2023 with Kristin on the tee. And I think she saw this year that she's the one.
I interviewed Kristen over 100 times that year, just due to champions interviews, press conferences, hot rounds that she shot. The 2023 season in general was just marching to victory every single weekend, and this tournament was no different.
Just crazy playing. It was like a start of a something else coming in. It was Paige's reign before this, and then Kristin just took over and well showed the world how
that's
to do it.
how you know she's so good, is that when the bet is 1.5 or better or worse, that's how you know you're good.
Beautiful putt from Evelyn, and that was a confident stroke, and it's not a gimme. OB behind, and wow.
Couple of nice birdies there. Lefty playing that backhand flex to the high side of the hill. And Kona has found a couple different putting strokes. She's struggled in the past.
Makes a putt, good for birdie. Next we are seeing 23 Ida-Emily Nesse playing.
15 years old. She makes
During
the
this
lead
time.
card.
Something younger. I think she was 13 this year. And that was crazy. Oh no, sorry, she was 15.
She
Sorry.
was 15. Letomaki was 13
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
year. But this was a moment that I think a lot of people were excited about, because you see a kid 15 years old come out here, unbelievable technique already, playing on lead cards with the best players in the world. And she did great the final round. She shot even. I believe she tied Kristen. That's experience that you get to bank in your memory forever.
Absolutely, I agree on that. If there's something to be noted, in my opinion, it's the confidence, and there's like no fear attitude when what we could see in these shots. And I really expect she to bring this today.
Well,
As you said, the A game.
we were talking about this. This is just a fantastic card. I mean, the storylines write themselves. Letomaki, now from Finland, she's 15 years old now, and she's been battling with Emilia Nessa for years now as the two best juniors players out there, at least from Europe. But right now, European Junior Championships, Emilia Nessa got her by just a few strokes. Yeah.
But I think that sets it up nicely, because she's hungry to give it back. Maybe take a few extra strokes on the way.
And this is what I think the big difference is. I think Letomaki, at least from what I've seen, is overall a more solid thrower. But when it comes to short game, I think Emilia Nessa has her beat. She kind of has that really clean, modern putting stroke. But again, these two girls are still in school and dreaming of being professional disc golfers like Paige and Kristen already. That just shows you how far our game has come. It's not something that you could have planned for as a career path as a kid, even a decade ago.
Absolutely. Next, we are going to take a look at the current scores from the field. Only Turkish Manifest is playing a nice round so far, 300 through 5. But she has had a nice tournaments before, and she's a very certain top 10 finisher. I have this feeling that she's playing always on the nice level, and she can show up and show her magic. And she played really well last year in the European Disc Golf Festival.
And with that, we're going to send it to another commercial break here on the Disc Golf Network. On the other side, your featured card.
The Innova Rolo, the disc made for rolling. 4. The Rolo, making rollers fun.
There's a place where the game meets the extraordinary. Eagles Crossing Disc Golf, a realm of lush fairways and peaceful woods, where every hole offers a new chapter in your adventure. Explore this one-of-a-kind disc golf property that boasts not one, but 2 championship-level courses. Eagles Crossing is where your perfect round begins. Book your tee time online at eaglescrossingdiscgolf.com.
We are here. We are one. We will fight. We will fall. We will prevail. From the fjords of Norway to the shores of Spain, from the fire of Iceland to the hope of Ukraine, 30 countries, one voice. Go Europe.
Master Worlds on DGN Pro. You can watch full live coverage on the DGN Pro, stream live coverage of 2025 PDGA Professional Masters. There's some Masters action going on, and even more known players are moving to Masters, like publicly known. I think it's exciting.
It's extremely exciting stuff.
Next up, we are going to have the beautiful scenery, and we are waiting for the first feature card to tee off, and it's all the setup we have built. We can see it here. Ida, Kristin and Paige.
PCS Open 2025 presented by Innova, Överås Disc Golf Park, Future Card FPO. First on tee from Pärnu, Estonia, latitude 64, winner PCS Open 2023. Give some noise for Kristin Latt. From Espeland, Norway, Team Innova, Ida Emilie Nesse.
Oh, what a lucky break.
From
Couldn't wish for anything better.
Finland, also Team Innova, Ida Lehtomäki. From Pensacola, Florida, United States, Team Discraft. Nice to have her back here again at Överås. Give some noise for Paige Pierce.
So the first feature card teed off, but the closer to pin we see Kristin Latt.
It's a really nice play. You're playing it downhill. She's obviously thrown a pretty overstable driver. And the miss is just overturning it because you're throwing it downhill. It's also nice to see the ground play. The grass is letting the disc skip a little bit. It's been really moist out here, a lot of damp ground, so nice to see the discs are actually going to be moving out there.
Absolutely, and it was nice that it was low, but I think she meant it to be low, so she's not risking it to go over and turn over to the left to OB. Did we see Paige miss the Mando?
Yeah, she pulled it right immediately out of her hand.
But such a beautiful recovery. But that's something that I know Paige for. Don't throwing those beautiful darts straight away to the pin. As I said before, we Undertox Manifest is playing nice, and here we're seeing her on 6. Throwing almost in. That would have been a start.
This is the year of medal hits. I'm telling you, this is going to be the biggest compilation of almost throw-ins that we've seen in any other Disc Golf Pro Tour season.
Yeah, they are tracking for the basket.
It's kind of what you have to do these days to get any strokes you can on some of these players at the top. Nate Perkins down there on the ground as we watch the feature card walk up the fairway. What are you picking up from the players this week? What are their thoughts and feelings about this course and this tournament?
Hey, Brian, I think that this is one of the the tournaments and the venues where the players get to just actually enjoy life outside of the golf, right? The tour is such a grind. Even when you come over here to Europe, it's just back to back to back weeks up until the World Championships. And so you see players out there, they're taking the boat ride, they're on the Eagle Safari, you know, they're climbing around glaciers, they're doing stuff that's outside their comfort zone that kind of reminds them of why they fell in love with the traveling lifestyle of a professional disc golfer.
And as Nate's talking about the players having a good time, Evelina's certainly having a good time. Putting stroke looks dialed in right now. That's 3 birdies in a row.
And those putts are the one to give you the flow state. You see that you can trust your hand to do what you are planning it to do, and it really shows in the stroke. It is confident.
And that's when the game starts to feel fun. When you know you don't have to be right underneath the basket to get those birdies. You can put it to circle's edge.
Kristin putting for birdie and has the birdie. That was expected. And for the Page, unfortunate bogey due the Mando miss.
Yeah, a bit of an angle miss for Amelia Nessa, but it's all right. You start off with a bogey, sometimes it snaps you back into focus and gets you on the right track for the rest of the round.
And I think we have this saying in Finland that you can never start with birdie. That's unforbidden. So I think maybe they have the same in Norway. So it's prohibited.
You're going to have to explain that to me. There's got to be some irony baked in there, yeah?
Yeah, because you get too cocky if you start with,
okay.
With the birdie. Now we are on the hole 5, the Gates of Valhalla, the signature, one of the signature holes.
And yeah, that's the miss, unfortunately. What a beautiful shot. You have to land it just at the entrance of the gates. That's the hardest part.
Here we see Conor Montgomery, a little bit overturning from the hand. And from there we move on. We are gonna have a small commercials break and get right back after that.
Let's send these boys back to the lobby. Get on. Oh, Grandma's got a hot kettle for that teabag.
How did you get so much energy from a candy?
One Shot is no ordinary candy. It only has 4 grams of sugar, and the nootropics help prevent jitters and crash.
Grandma, do you think I could try one of those One Shot energy chews?
Oh, sure, honey. But if you come for the queen, you better come correct, Sprout. I'm the OG. Got it?
Got it.
Level up your energy with One Shot. Grab yours at oneshotenergy.com today.
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances. And studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
Does it concern you how much Infinite Discs uses your likeness in their marketing?
No, not at all. First off, the Alpaca is an amazing putter.
Right.
And Alpacas don't miss. Shout out my guy Proctor. And Infinite Discs is a great company. They have like 100,000 discs in stock, so their selection and prices are incredible. So I'm not concerned about being associated with them. I'll tell you what does concern me though.
What?
Their eyes of AI.
Oh yeah, that's scary stuff.
AI is everywhere and also like so hard to tell it was real. I was not.
Tickets for all upcoming DGPT events are now available. Scan the code or head to dgpt.com/tickets to check out the tickets for events near you, or visit dgpt.com/Europe tickets for our upcoming European events. Tickets are available only while supplies last, so be quick, pick up your tickets, maybe head to Turku. There's a beautiful Luolavuori course open, or maybe if you're in stateside in Illinois, Let's Show Open presented by Zuka. I think those are my picks.
And man, we're going to Krokel and Oslo next week. Are you kidding me?
Nah.
Great stretch of disc golf coming up.
You have to play it from the home ground. Kristin on TF2.
Yeah, hugging on that right side. A lot of players pushing it that direction. I feel like they're trying to take those slightly stable to overstable discs and try to push that tree line, get that slight fade. Yeah.
You know, Emily throwing something a little bit straighter and avoiding those trees, as you said, and not playing with angles, just shoot it to the pin.
And what's interesting about this and how it's shaped is if you want to play it safe and avoid those trees on the right, you then give yourself the death putt looking at the downslope.
You could say that's the downside. And he left him with a similar kind of beautiful shot, make it even closer to the pin. Almost a tap in.
I believe this is Paige Pierce's 15th year on tour, and Lehtomäki's been playing for 4 years.
Oh.
There's that same miss that she had on hole 1. She's been doing that this season. Normally it's a left miss. But the grip locks are not fun. Really rough start for Paige.
You could say it's a little bit like a back and forth with late release, early release. Hard to find the middle point of the swing. Maybe a timing issue, or what do you see?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It seems like this year there's been some types of shots that she's just been spectacular with, and then certain ones it just doesn't work, and timing is a funny thing like that. She's had a great stretch starting at Champions Cup. She went podium, podium, podium. Rough finish at the U.S. Women's Championship, which was her last event. And we'll see what Paige we get this weekend.
So Kristin stayed safe, playing for birdie from circle 2, I'd say. That's a long putt, uphill, underneath the branches.
I don't think she's going to try to run that.
Yeah. That's a beautiful putt for bogey. Deft behind the basket and straight in.
It's good to see that her confidence isn't fully shaken from these kind of strange misses she's had early. Nice to see her make the putt.
Yeah, that's what the 15 years of touring gives you.
Yeah.
Ida Lehtomäki making a beautiful putt in the middle. Couple tap-ins for Nesse and Lat. As we move forward, we see Evelina making those beautiful putts, feeling alive, Anneli almost making it from the fairway. Exciting times.
Yeah, and really, I do not think Kristin's winning score from 2023 is going to be good enough to win this year. I think there's too many players with too much talent and with these conditions for that to be good enough. The one thing, Evelina took the bogey on the gates of Valhalla. she threw a good shot. You knew it came out of her hand nice. She probably just wanted it a little bit lower. So I don't think that bogey's going to shake her focus whatsoever. But curious to see how the rest of this feature card plays out. Both Idas are throwing some pretty solid shots out there.
Absolutely. Do you think Evelina was going for the ace on the Gates of Valhalla?
I hope. I mean, why would you not at this point?
Absolutely. Keep the streak alive.
Well, she really told me. She said, now that I've won, she said, quote unquote, now that I've won everything, every win on top of this is a bonus. And that's a great place for her to be. No more pressure.
Such a beautiful tree kick. Some tree love from Norway.
And a really solid line, too. You could tell she was not trying to overshape that disc. I like that she picked something pretty stable, neutral. It's okay to fade off left a little bit.
Kristin choosing exactly what you said and getting paid.
Yeah, big miss is obviously, if you're going with the forehand, you have the risk of going OB right. But from the FPO, it's pretty straightforward with the backhand.
This needs to filter through. Drop down. Should be an easy par coming up. Jump putt maybe.
Yeah, they took out some easier holes on this opening stretch, and they've added some new ones that come in later in the course. It's a little bit rough around the edges, but definitely adds some teeth to this course. I love that from Paige.
That's what we wanted to see.
Exactly.
Such a beautiful release, and that was the Paige shot. The straight putter yet again, I think. Maybe a mid-range.
You almost saw her wake up when she was walking up the fairway.
Maybe she replicated the one from the hole one's drop zone. Saw the straight line and just shoot it.
Monty stay up on 7 on that left side. Now Evelina on 6. Got to push this drive far and left to open up your angle. It's going to be decent.
Yeah, and I think the tree saved her from going OB. The disc was coming in hot. Maybe a skip would have pushed her OB.
Players are trying to throw that power hyzer, hug that left side, and then the basket kind of curls around into the tree line right. From this angle, I can't quite tell if she's in bounds or not, but if she's safe, that's a fantastic shot.
Ida Nest was left for the quite simple forehand upshot, and she nails it. Beautiful shot in the fairway for Anneli.
And there's probably something a lot more aggressive she could have gone for, but I think if you play this course even just a couple times, you realize it's not necessary to have to go for those types of shots. Keep your stress levels low, put yourself in the landing zone, you'll be all right.
Absolutely, and stay away from the bogeys, because
Exactly.
they are going to come up eventually. But it would be great to see someone play bogey-free the whole weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And now a beautiful drive. Timid miss is kind of the opposite of the previous hole. Can't quite find the rhythm. Kristen, after a solid shot, she went with a mid-range off the tee. I really like that play.
Such a confident putt.
Kristen losing in that playoff with Evelina at the European Disc Golf Championships. That's got to sting. And, you know, even a player who's won everything, quote unquote, you know, tournaments like that don't feel good.
You couldn't have said it better. He left the making the putt, and Ida Menezes for par. Would you say the damage control is important part of the playing here in Överås?
I think resourcefulness is more the term, because damage control implies that you're going to be playing like poorly no matter what. I think if Paige keeps on this pace, that might come into play. But I think a lot of times you're going to be just off the landing zone, and you're still able to get up and down for birdie, but you have to throw something a little bit more technical or aggressive than you're used to, and that's what I like about this course. There's clean lines down the fairway, but if you are off a little bit, you can try an over-the-top shot. There's not, trees swallowing you whole on a lot of these holes. So if you want to be that player, you can cut the corner if you want.
And luckily we have few of those players with us today. Evelyn, for example. She have the arm to go over in some cases.
Hole 4, 84 meters, 276 feet. It feels like you want to throw something like flat or flex on this, but because you're kind of going uphill, you're going over this rock wall, this artificial pond, throwing something neutral on hyzer kind of naturally brings the disc up. You have that backstop, but you can't get too safe, otherwise you set yourself up for another death putt.
Absolutely, and thank you for Zenny, for everyone for that beautiful drone shot or the fairway.
Perkins, as we get scores going for this lead feature card, what are your thoughts on the two Idas that are playing with two of the greats of our sport?
Yeah, I mean, how nerve-wracking, right, to be playing with two of the all-time greats, and they don't seem to be too nervous, with the moment being that big. And I think just the stillness of the morning is so welcome here. I think a lot of the practice rounds out here were so windy and wet that this is just a relief no matter who they find themselves playing with.
I think that's exactly what you said. You don't want to play it too safe, but you want to make sure you're on top.
Yeah, and she's been playing like that on these early holes, and she just looks really dialed in. Speaking of which, wow.
That's something. I think they replicated the last shot, and now when we are going a little bit left uphill.
It is interesting. It's almost the same shot.
Yeah.
Less tunnel, a little bit more elevation to deal with.
And the basket on the different side.
Yep.
A little bit high for Ida Emily. Making sure it crosses to the high side of the basket. Yet again, a little bit intimidating putt coming for her.
And it's a tough distance to have a death putt because you almost feel foolish laying it up, but sometimes it might be a better play.
As an amateur, I would lay that up
exactly.
every day.
and they're not going to. There's no way they're going to do that unless the wind picks up. Paige, another, frankly, a spray off the tee. Take a look at Kristen's shot. Little tiniest bit of flip. And those are the lines that I think she's masterful at. Not getting it fully up to flat, but just a tiny hair of flip, soft fade at the end.
And that's the flight I'm looking for. That's exactly what I admire. It's such a view to see that this just tiny flip, riding flat, and then fading back towards the left side.
I always called it the Ken Climo line because when I was growing up, first seeing disc golf for the first time, he was throwing that every single shot, different degrees of hyzer flip, and somehow always getting it back to hyzer at the end.
So are we going there? That we are getting this little bit of GOAT conversation here. Kristin, Kenny?
I think when you look at the best players in our game, hyzer flip is a skill that has to be mastered, no matter who you are, what courses you play.
Yeah, it's the smooth hands that matter. Paige from circle 2.
Yeah, just struggling to find the rhythm right now. You thought maybe she was going to run it after her success on the previous couple holes ago.
Yeah, I think the flag was a little bit scared. Incoming.
All right, so this is a birdie putt that gets your blood pumping.
Oh, and what a putt! I was thinking about the mountains behind, and then I saw the putt. I don't know which one was better. I think it was the putt. That was a huge make.
You step up to that putt. Who cares about the slope behind it? Beautiful mountain in the background and chains. That's all you need.
Yeah. And Ida doing the same, a little bit closer, and just nailing the putt. They are having a competition together.
Her tempo on the putt just looks so confident. Everything that she's done today, Letomaki, just looks so in the pocket. And you see Kristen with just a little bit more control over the final end of the flight this round than Letomaki. Just always a little bit closer.
Under the left for a little bit of a straddle putt. And a make for par. It looked good, and Evelina was playing smart golf yet again. She was a little off position, and fairway hit. Confident putt and tapping.
I love this kind of newfound power that she's been putting into her putts lately. It's just not something that I'm used to seeing her from that range actually running a step putt like that.
Gates of Valhalla is calling again. Missed the gate, unfortunately.
Yeah, speed was really good. You got to hit early. It's down slope. The green is fast. You want to throw directly through it because it's satisfying to see your disc go through the gate, but really, the trick is to land right at it. Ooh. A little bit short, but still I believe she's not missed the Mando yet. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle, but I think she's okay.
She was going for the skip play, keeping it low and hopping over to the basket.
Yeah, it's an easier way to hit the brakes than actually trying to float a putter down there.
This looks beautiful. Doesn't have the brakes. Hits the pole. Oh. That was a beautiful shot from Ida Nesse.
I would be blown away if we don't see an ace on camera this weekend. Multiple aces in practice. We saw players posting online.
Paige trying to get it turned. Putt, safe, giving herself a putt. Yet again, a little bit scary putt, but
hole 8, 289, 88 meters. It's just a little turnover. Pretty much a straight shot. That should be okay.
hole 7. Evelyn Salonen trying the tee. Middle of the fairway. And that should be enough. It was 150 meters par 4, so I think she is still... It was the little bit off the mark, but still possible to make the birdie.
Most definitely. I think so much more important than power, having the right shot for the right tee pad, is just getting to the spot to give yourself a chance out here.
On mark for Kristin. Do you think Paige is going to run this?
If she's channeling the Paige that I know, then absolutely. There's no doubt in her mind that this is going in. Not going to happen.
Nope. And she was running it. She had the look.
She was looking for some fireworks to get her started again. You know, get back to 1 over. Hopefully get back to even on the next hole.
Beautiful shot from Evelyn, and as we spoke, it was good enough, and giving herself a nice approach to the basket. Ida Lehtomäki didn't want part of that.
Did not want any bit of it.
Anna Turkis making the birdie from the beautiful tee shot on 8. Oh. That was good comeback for Paige. That was confident.
And you were talking about all the experience playing into the fact that she's hitting these comebackers. She putts so aggressively that she gets a lot of practice hitting those comebackers from 30 feet.
For bogey. And this tap in for birdie. That was a beautiful shot from the tee. Ida Nesse. And Kristin Latt tapping in for the par. So it was the gates of Valhalla for the day.
Just one medal hit. That's good enough. That'll hit the quota for the day for us.
Yeah, you get 2 points for that. So, quick look at the scores, and then we head for commercials. Stay tuned, and we are here when you get back.
Experience is the greatest teacher, and I'm so blessed after 40 years and 150 so courses, every project I'm still learning. I think when you get down to it, a lot of it is about vision. There's the vision for individual holes. There's the vision for the property and what it can become as a course and what it can become as a venue. And then there's the vision for what disc golf can become.
Some of my favorite discs in my bag are the A-Series discs. They're the ones I lean on to get close to the basket, and each of them have a consistent grip. So as you cycle through the series, you won't have to change the way that you hold the disc. These are torque-resistant discs that are more stable than the PA series, provide a consistent fade at the end of the flight. The best way to find your flight is to get out and use these discs yourself.
Made from the earth, Rhino harnesses the power of plants and the sun to create topical performance products that are good for us and our earth. Formulated by a pharmacist and built by a chef, Rhino's unique line of products helps adventurers perform better and enhance recovery.
Welcome back from the commercial break, and we are seeing a few replays from TF6.
Yeah, like we saw with the chase card, this is really solid.
Brian, that looks nice.
Really nice.
That looks like the birdie district down there.
It's definitely birdie district. Yeah, she's partying down there. That's great spot. You don't want to be right side tree line. That makes it a lot tighter to access the green.
Kristin giving the power hyzer. And joining the party over there. Maybe a little further, but close to the tree. Might be a tree lie. Paige opting to go a little bit more from the middle. Did not filter through. Middle of the pines. Might be a little bit challenge coming up for Paige. Ida Lehtomäki. Yet again, it's the... We are not sure if it's OB. Close to OB, but beautiful shot if it stayed safe. Evelina Saunen on 7 and putting for birdie and gets it. That's the confidence.
It looks like she's just at the carnival, just playing ring toss, just free flowing. Like, I don't know, she looks a lot less tense putting from these kind of tough ranges that she used to really struggle with.
Yeah. She looks like she's playing a Casper round with her friends. Just tossing it in, having fun, enjoying the game.
And I think there's some players where that's exactly the state of mind they try to get to, and I think she's done that.
Paige. Playing for the position.
Yeah, she can run that putt.
And we are seeing Flight Factory drone flying over the fairway. We see a small gallery watching the players play. And thank you, Flight Factory, for this beautiful footage showing us exactly where we are, hugging the OB. Can you confirm, was Ida OB?
They have confirmed her as out of bounds after one throw, took her meter in and threw that second short of the pond. So it looks like she's going to be conceding the bogey. There is a chance to run one. And, you know, Nate, I want to throw it down to you. Nate, you were sending us messages about Lehtomäki. You're pretty impressed with the skill. I mean, yes, she went out of bounds there by just a little bit, but what are your thoughts of what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the future, right? Julia Ford. Lehtomäki. The putt back on the third, the fourth.
We are having some little bit of technical issues. We are in a far part of the course, a little bit lower server connection, but we get back to Nate soon.
Well, I have to agree with what he was saying earlier, is that, yeah, the future for junior disc golf is just unbelievable. You look at some of the numbers that these players are putting up across the board in any junior division. It's just a really special thing to watch. And solid shot there from Ring Boom. And yeah, Julia Ford is another player that we talked about earlier in the show. You know, she hasn't even come close to being a fully grown human being yet and still putting up unbelievable numbers.
And I think you can see this like a little bit of like more unified form, like when the game develops and it gets better, and we are seeing what are the cues for the successful throw. Players are trying to mitigate and make their own best version of it, but we see this like you can be small sized and still produce a huge amount of power, and that's something that I think we haven't seen before, because the game has been a little bit more on the long
Yes.
and length-handed players. So it's I think it's a great development and progress that is happening in disc golf right now.
Yeah, and I think Paige was the first one to really show us that you don't have to be huge to throw far and throw fast. And you know, a player like Evelina, she's not 6 feet tall.
No.
You know, she's athletic and she has great timing, and that's what these junior players are starting to pick up. And their fundamentals get developed at a super early age, whereas before YouTube, before all these different channels teaching you how to throw a disc, it was a little bit different. You kind of had to rely on your local players to teach you, you know, little lessons along the way. And now a player right here like Ida has gotten to train from a very early age.
Absolutely.
This is for par.
Oh, it's a easy bogey coming. Thinking that she can afford one for the weekend.
Yeah, it definitely feels rough after getting the bogey again on 5. It'll be back to back.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I've already forgot. She was playing so good, and I forgot it was the 4 and 5 as well.
Bit of a run there for Paige. But also, like you said, she got 3 birdies in a row. She's still going to be 1 under par. And again, looking back at scores, like from previous years, you don't have to go 10 down.
Absolutely.
You put up a solid 5 down, I bet that's going to be a great score today.
What do you think? What is going to be the hot round today? Now we are still underway. We are not even the whole 9 yet. So what are you feeling?
I feel like back 9 doesn't give you as easy of birdies. So I think players have to score a few under on the front. I would still say 3, 4, 5 down is going to be a really solid score today.
I like that. It's a little bit conservative. I'm giving you 7 under.
7?
7. It's going to be hot. Kristen made a putt, and then we have tap-ins coming for par. Ida Emily Nesse. Paige tapping in for par. And Ida left the mark 4. Unfortunate bogey after the OB drive from tee.
In 2013, this course was developed, and it's just had a sprint to where it is today. 3 years after the course got put in the ground, Avery Jenkins came out, gave his insights on the property, saw this place for the first time. Eagle McMahon came out here, I believe, in 2019, had his mind blown away by this place. And now here we are. Anniken Sten, nice putt there. Best in the world, just continuing to hear about this place.
Mata Ringboom making for the birdie on 8. And I'm really excited for the Pro Tour actually land now, like big time in Europe. We are seeing players from stateside, and I think it's going to give us us European players a good time, challenge ourselves, see where we at the moment on the world level, because I think it's a little bit different game here in Europe and in States. You know, it's very high level in both places, but when you combine them, there are things that can happen in both fields, MPO and FPO.
Yeah, we've seen the complete shift in FPO because of the European talent coming over more full-time, and Evelina Salonen, just one of those players making that push and showing these younger players what they have to do to win.
Yeah, and as we can see in the FPO, it's Euro-dominated field on top 10 right now.
Missing players like Owen and Missy and Holland, and they are just slowly making their way over, and really excited to see them in coming events, but gives a chance for some of these other players to shine.
Absolutely. Ida Nesse, beautiful tee shot on 7, right in the middle.
You can go sidearm here, but you have to shape it a little bit. We'll see what Kristen does here. Yeah, she's trying to flex it long on that left side. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's on the mark.
Oh, yeah.
There's not much left for after that.
Yeah, you can throw the flex, or you can kind of push the hyzer flip a little bit. But yeah, backhands just have to be really precise. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It's a short par 4. Placement just matters so much more. We saw Evelina's drive kind of get to a similar spot that Amelia Nessa's drive got. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good grouping in the middle of the fairway. Kristin, little overshoot that.
Little bit.
That grouping, but I think she don't mind that.
And man, yeah, just a fan of when Kristin is on fire. I'm excited about that drive, and I love when she's able to tap into that flow state that you were talking about. It felt like for a period of time, it was a perpetual flow state for Kristin. It felt like even when she had a quote-unquote bad day, she was beating the field by multiple strokes.
You don't say. It was exactly like that. And it looked a little bit like interesting because she felt so bad. You could see that like she was feeling bad. She didn't shoot a hot round, but she was still doing better than most of the field. And that's something. That gives you like a little sign of dominance. But these youngsters, the new generation, I think they are going to give Kristin a hard time this weekend.
Second shot for Letomaki. Kind of popping the nose up a little bit too, showing off a little finesse.
Yeah,
not bad.
I'm trying a little bit lower line and absolutely parking it. Beautiful skips.
That's going to be third birdie for Amelia Nessa. This is really great round. She might make me eat my words pretty quickly about what I think a hot round's going to be.
It's a 7 under coming. She's cooking for it. Tough breaks for Paige.
Yeah, all over the place. T of 9, really beautiful hole. I believe this is one of the new ones. And we saw in certain parts of this course, the wood chips and the dirt and the mulch was really soft. So players are really going to have to watch their footing. And you might see a lot more standstills from this part of the fairway.
A little bit uncharacteristic low miss for Kristin. She had a few of those during this year. And every now and then.
Yeah, she likes to kind of force that Anheuser sidearm where a lot of players would just kind of float the putter. That's the one shot that she doesn't like to throw, and she'll avoid it if she can.
Oh, making chase putt.
Oh, look at this shot. Way overshoots the landing zone. Too good of a shot.
And turned like 180.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting spot. Yeah, we'll dive into hole 9 a little bit more once our feature card gets there. It's a very tricky, technical hole that they added to the course. C2, look for birdie.
A little bit high, nose up, fading left. This is a important pot for Paige. She really needs to make it. Just to keep her like mental state building. And such a beautiful pot. Yeah. That's what we need to see.
It feels like on every hole she does one thing really well and then misses in a completely different spot. It's not like she's having struggles with one specific thing.
Yeah, you are spot on. Maybe it's like a comeback kind of thing. She's making still like a comeback, even though you said she has played really well this season. But I think it's a little bit like a comeback season still.
For sure.
And Ida making it for the birdie.
Yeah, with Paige, it's been stretches of brilliance. There's still been some rough performances where she's missed some pretty simple misses. But, yeah, it's been these types of misses all year. Just kind of left, right, not quite finding the line on anything.
Good comeback for Kristin. Ida Nessa for birdie. And as I said, they are going to give Kristin a hard time this weekend. It's not going to be a free ride, even though Kristin and Evelina would stay in the flow state the whole weekend. I think the youngsters, they are showing up strong right now.
Yeah, I think it's funny when Kristin's playing with both Idas on her card. You got to think she's like, what did I do? Why did I do this? Why did I play so well? I gave the kids too much to study.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Now I'm thinking more true. It's more like actually 3 generations of disc golf, because Paige's career has been so long. She has been playing for 15 seasons, as you said. So she's the grand old man or grand old woman in this case. In this card, then you have Kristin, the current GOAT, and then you have the youngsters.
It's wild to think about Paige's career in that in 2011 she won a world title in Santa Cruz, California. And this was 5 years before the Disc Golf Pro Tour even started.
That's a crazy thing to think about.
Yeah, it's just incredible what's been built over time, especially for the FPO division. Just a really wonderful thing to have players get to develop and watch and study.
A beautiful shot from Ida Nesse.
Perfect speed. I love watching the turnover get back to flat, land softly.
And I think there was that finesse yet again. It was a little bit nose up. You could see the float with what it got just before fading.
And you know they can throw a fairway over, 88 meters.
Absolutely.
That Tomaki trying to go with the mid-range. Kind of dipped a little bit on that and just popped the nose up too much.
I think Kristin is loving that disc. I think she has thrown it every time on this, like a 90 to 100 meter. Straight, a little bit turnover, made a little bit fade.
It's perfect stability right now. Yeah, she can get that tiniest bit of flip on it. Pull it over to the right if she needs to, but otherwise it can keep pretty stable.
Looks like a little bit overturned for Paige. Good kicks now. Now she got the tree love she needed, I think. It can get too rough if you don't get any love during the day.
Let's take a look at this hyzer flip from Emilia Nessa. Look at this. And then the disc just slowly shuts off, hits the brakes.
Oh, that was a beautiful one.
That's the kind of shot that just makes you feel really good about the game and really enjoy the sport of disc golf.
And you can see the speed control.
Yes.
As you said, I think it was the fairway.
It was a fairway driver.
So it is the speed control. 88 meters, it's not you can just shoot it. You have to actually focus on what you're doing. Oh, unfortunate break for only Turkish Manista.
We're going to see misses like this on 9. The route to the basket is really guarded. I think it's a lot of a luck factor. Multiple players talking about this kind of mouth to the green. We'll see this in just a bit when our feature card gets there, but now Letamaki kind of in that trouble zone for a lot of players, just outside the jump putt range. Yeah, that is that's the shot you got to give the most respect to, and those are the types of mistakes that can really blow your confidence. It feels so simple, and then you mess it up, and it can make you question everything that you're doing.
Yeah, it's easy to go to that like a zigzag feeling that you're just going from right to left on the fairway. We are at Överås, Disc Golf Park, the famous Ragnarök course, the Viking theme, as Nate gave us the insight on when we were getting on the go, Open 2016, and I think there's a they have done a great job, and I love the tractor on hole 18.
Of course,
I think it's a little bit random, but still.
But that's
the
disc
farm.
golf.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's the farm.
Yes.
Hey, like ground level where they started. It was the farm, and I think it's a beautiful reminder of that.
And I think our sport has a lot of room for that type of artistic, like, symbolism in the course design. We don't need to look like traditional golf. I like to see some of the Viking theme out here, the axes, the shields. I think it's special.
Yeah, for sure, and it makes it special.
Not going to go for Paige, but par is fine at this point. Just waiting for that one shot to get herself within circle one.
And here we are 9. Lucas managed left for a little bit tricky off shot. Yet again on this same range. Not the jump putt, you have to throw it. And hard to control the distance on that kind of short shots that you need to still throw. You just can't pop it.
And this is not a gimme by any means.
Such a classic Kristen.
Yeah, we've been keying in on Kristen's putt all year because it feels like it's been coming, it's been going. And Nate Perkins had always talked about how fast or slow she pumps the disc when she's kind of lining everything up. And it feels like that rhythm is telling on how nervous she is, how she's feeling that day.
Yeah, you couldn't be more right. I think that's the cue, what we are seeing. Good make for Paige. But I think for Paige, those last 2 or 3 makes, they have been important, you know?
They have been.
She hasn't made the first, but she has made a good comeback after that. And they have looked confident. So then we are moving over to Zenny flyover on hole 9. Brian, can you walk us through?
Oh, it's tricky. So there's a very small route to throw through. There's actually a couple routes you can try, but as you can tell, short hole 466. I believe this is the shortest par 4, averaging 5 on the day. This is very rough around the edges. If you hit the right landing zone, you then have this uphill tiny gap. Tough shot too, because even if you're trying to throw hyzer, you have to go uphill, flip it a little bit, and hopefully get yourself to the green. We'll see how this hole breaks in over time and how the players figure it out. Matilda, solid shot. We're still learning where the optimal landing zone is here. It's very specific.
Looks beautiful for Evelina. Huge skip. That's what we was talking about. If you get right around the edges, it's going to be a rough time.
And I think for Evelina, it's going to be okay because her forehand is so good.
And now we are moving to the commercials. Short break. Don't go anywhere. And we continue right after.
I'm Jennifer Allen. I'm Sarah Hokum. And I use the Trekker. And I use the Trekker LG. The Trekker holds up to 25 discs, and I like a lot of extras. The LG holds 30 discs, so I can have backups for my backups. There's nothing that I don't have room for. There's even enough room for your emotional support animal. I think the Trekker is for someone who wants to have everything on the course. You want to be prepared, we can carry everything we need, and I have a comfortable place to sit on the course.
The Chalker from Innova, your 2-in-1 chalk bag and mini marker. It's a chalk clay hybrid sports sack and PDGA legal mini.
Yes, this ad is exactly that boring. Luckily, our backpacks are much cooler than this video, and you can also use the promo code to get the bag at a great price on our website, puredisc.net. Same-day shipping and worldwide delivery.
Open champion, hold like this!
If you design, if you test, if you manufacture, there is only one technology partner you need. TriMech Group is the leading provider of design, engineering, and manufacturing solutions for thousands of companies across North America and Europe. Innovation starts here. TriMechGroup.com.
This summer, discover Estonia and feel the energy of Tallinn. From July 17th, the European Disc Golf Festival brings the sport's biggest stars to the legendary Tallinn Song Festival grounds. Experience world-class disc golf in a land of wild nature, vibrant culture, and medieval charm. Estonia is waiting. Tallinn is calling. Get your tickets now at svibi.com.
What is the simplest way to improve your disc golf game? The answer, learn from the very best. Paul Ulibarri, Simon Lizotte, Ezra Aderhold, and Holland Hanley. They're not just players, they are your elite coaches guiding you every step of the way. The Power Disc Golf Academy is the premier online disc golf academy with over 150 on-demand lessons that are specifically designed to improve your skills right now. So what are you waiting for? Join today at powerdga.com.
It's so easy to get started, and when you get the bug, you just keep going, and it's so much fun. Disc golf is a great game to get out, increase your activity level, enjoy the outdoors, and have a great time. It's a really easy sport to get into, so just grab a disc and come out and play.
No matter your age or skill, there's a place for you out on the disc golf course.
So come on out and throw your best.
Welcome back on hole 9. Oh, that's the first miss for Anneli that we have seen so far on the broadcast. Anneli coming back for bogey on 9. These are the replays from earlier. Oh.
Wow. Can't say I can't relate to that. I know what that feels like, but after seeing the way she was putting earlier in the round. After seeing the way she was putting earlier in the round, yeah, that's a little shocking.
It was shocking, and I think she's feeling shocked right now.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how she's going to feel in that moment. Hopefully, because she's playing so well, that she shakes it off and moves into the back 9 with the same momentum. Kind of stuff happens. Weird stuff happens in disc golf.
Absolutely, and those things happen, and you have to just push them out of your mind and walk for the next tee pad. Play better.
Yeah, play better.
Just shoot it, as I said.
Right. So we're taking a look. Evelina's second on 9. This is what I'm talking about. It is so specific to give yourself the right angle. We thought her shot was good.
Yeah, I think the initial gap it is not too narrow, but if you are not on the spot, it makes it very challenging. And of course, these players, they are aiming for the at least the circle 2, so they are aiming to go far from the point from they are playing. But here we see Evelina Salem putting it close. Good upshot after the kick on 2. Now, Ida Milnese.
So she's going to go with a forehand down the right. I get why you would do this, because it opens up that angle a little bit better. The backhands are going to fade to the left where Evelina's went, and you kind of cut yourself off from having a chance at birdie.
Exactly, but I have to say, from the tee, here we are looking at the left gap. It looks very open, but there has to be tricks coming up in the end if you go through the left gap.
Well, I think if you fade too far to the right, you have zero chance. No birdies so far on hole number 9, averaging a full stroke over par, 41% of the field taking a bogey.
Tough time.
Okay, Paige slowing down, kind of pushing the hyzer. Okay, I'm curious to see what angle that gives her, and we'll kind of get a gauge for how players are going to attack this hole throughout the rest of the weekend. It might be one of those holes where the players just abandon 3 and start to play it as a short par 5.
Could be, but it is very short one. What comes to my mind when I'm looking at these players to sort this tee shot, it's I think it's you're getting very pumped up before you're coming here, and then you're overshooting it or having a little rough time to lower your heart rate and making the shot each shot. That seems too obvious. Mate Ringboom. earlier, approaching the basket.
Bit of an aggressive bid.
Oh, you could say.
So this is another new hole, hole number 10, 410 feet. I was wrong earlier. This is the shortest par 4 in the course. Another one you just got to stay really disciplined on.
Yeah, it looks interesting, and it's. I think it's interesting to see how these two specific holes, how they evolve in players' minds during the weekend. Because as we see, it's giving a rough time. The 9, I think the 10. Yeah, stats there, but I think we're gonna see lots of changes during the week. How they are gonna actually come along the fairway, how they are gonna play it, and take the best result out of it.
Yeah, I know the feeling. You play a hole and you go to bed that night before round number 2 just dreaming of what you would have done differently or what you can do differently and playing out scenarios in your head. It's one of the exciting parts of playing a tournament. Big backups here on hole number 9. Nate Perkins out there on the ground. Talk about the hole from your perspective and why are there so many backups?
Yeah, it's a pretty daunting tee shot. I think players are just taking a lot of strokes to get down to the green here. If you miss that tee shot, the scrambling's really tough. A lot of these birds just kind of closing in around the gaps. You can't really go over the top. And if you get into the thick stuff off the fairway, it's really tough to get back in it. And as you can see, I don't think we've had a birdie yet this morning. And only one player is in position here on this lead card for the birdie.
What did we just see?
That was a nasty splash out for Evelina.
Yikes. And funny enough, she just laughs at it. I mean, look at her reaction here. This is just a great indicator of where she's at mentally.
It just feels the truth.
Shock and a little smile.
Yeah, but she's playing the castle around still.
Yeah.
Okay, these things happen.
Yeah.
And we move along. And hopefully she can move along, like actually behind her mind.
Oh yeah, she'll be all right. She'll be all right. Like I said, she was talking to me as if this is probably the best her mental game has ever been.
Kristin ended up in a tricky spot, but can you see the Viking shield?
Oh,
and what
man.
a shot! Forget the Viking shield.
Are you kidding me?
Forget the Viking shield. That was say. That's crazy. We are going to see a one-shot replay out of that.
I'm trying to see what disc she threw, because look at this thing hold the turn so long. That kept drifting off to the left.
That's I think that's Kristin for you, and that's the one-shot energy.
Oh, she loves it. She loves it.
Oh, that's a... Huh?
Perkins, what about that shot?
Yeah, there was no chance that Kristin was in position for birdie. I mean, Paige Pierce, as soon as Kristin let it go, was just like floored by it. The way that it held that turn through the second gap, unreal. And I think that it's one of Kristin's superpowers, right? That the out of position forehand is how she's able to score so often.
That was something. Fans can use code DGPT for 25% off their order at oneshotenergy.com if you want to play it like Kristin. As we see Anneli playing on the hole 10.
Okay, so we got a really good angle from Paige's drive to show that you don't have to do anything spectacular to give yourself a decent angle for birdie. So I'm actually a little bit more surprised that we only see Kristin with the only shot.
But I'm getting this sensation of like overthinking it, you know. As we spoke, they are processing through this evening when they are going to bed, and they are thinking, what went wrong in that specific hole? Nesse?
She said, oh, that's what you have to do. Just drag the forehand over to the left. No problem.
Oh, that was it. The key unlocked. I hope that the rest of the field watches the highlights after this.
I kind of I want to see that shot from Kristen again. I mean, because Perkins was saying how it's truly a superpower for Kristen to be able to throw those shots. But right now, Togias Mani stay for par. And the double bogey on the previous.
Bogey coming up for this.
Yeah.
Still small putt left. But yeah, as you were saying, that is a Kristen superpower.
And it's not like she's throwing like Onskagen style flexes. She is the best in the world at dragging those slightly stable discs over to the left and getting them back. It's a very touchy shot. And I just remember in 2023, she almost never screwed one up with, 3 or 4 different speeds of disc.
Maki putting for birdie. Didn't look that bad.
And from where she was at off the tee, getting there is really solid. I think we're going to see more birdies on this hole coming up.
Absolutely. I think the first feature card, they just cracked the hole, and now it's open.
Yeah.
For the rest of the field. I hope so. Mattel Ringboom on hole 10.
Just that subtle hyzer to the landing zone. You're going to be scrambling no matter what on that second shot. Okay, we're seeing a Anniken Sten sidearm here.
Yeah, I was going to ask, as a fellow lefty, would you have opted for the sidearm?
I would have. You just don't see Anniken opt for it as often.
Mm.
It's actually pretty incredible what she's been able to do throwing mainly backhands. But that was a solid shot.
Kona, I think that was a beautiful shot. Straight out of the hand. Beautiful angle. Heavy power. Coming in hot. And as you said, still scrambling.
And you see how much Evelina's backing off this shot. Slower disc. And I believe this is going to be as good as it gets.
Yeah, I would like to see the Kristin flex a big forehand hit again.
Yes.
Down the gap and making the catch cam turn.
So now we have a chance. 3 birdies on hole 9, all coming from this feature card.
Dude, unbelievable. Is it okay if you go over here, maybe?
Okay, there was some kind of interruption.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Thank you.
Paige asking bystanders to move a little bit out of the way.
Oh, yes.
That was a beautiful putt. That we had that coming.
Yeah, we waited 9 holes to see Paige do this. Perfect drive, solid second shot, and then finally makes one of those putts count. And that's the first birdie we've seen on hole number 9. Here's a chance for 2. Oh, and the ramp off the top of the basket. That's tough.
That's giving you extra speed.
Yeah. She's going to find herself with a bit of an obstructed lie now. Kristen just sitting right in the bullseye. Yep, that's what I call one of those defensive putts where you start to feel like you're up against the wall. You have to make this one. A lot different pressure than when you're attacking for birdie.
Exactly. It changes the whole game.
Yeah.
2 putts, totally different game.
Nice easy par there. Yeah, feature card.
Yeah. And you just got a 1 stroke, almost the whole field.
Yeah, that's really solid. Paige and Kristen about to grab the only 2 birdies in the entire day. I do see that it's possible.
Absolutely.
But you love to see it with 2 different shots off the tee. It's kind of showing off the creativity on hole 9.
And let's not forget that Kristin was off after first shot. She was so far back. Took his manage down 11.
Long turnover. This basket's been kind of tucked back a little bit more. That's solid. There's OB that kind of funnels up towards the pin.
Oh, but Matilda Ringum, she had really nice opening after a shot. It didn't look that open from the first point of view, but it looked solid.
And this is after Evelina has kind of backed off her drive.
Okay, leaving a little bit longer putt than wanted.
Yeah, that feels like a bit of a foolish mistake for our reigning world champion, but still a shot at birdie.
Absolutely. And as said, Julia Fors, 2 under after 11. She's building there.
Man, Norway, Finland, and Sweden are well represented in the junior category for FPO. It's wild to see 13, 15, and 17 years old playing as well as they have.
Maria Kristinardottir, beautiful putt on 11.
This would be a great birdie to get back on track.
And she needs this one. And a make. I think it is very important to bounce back after double and a bogey, because she had so good start, couple unfortunate putting errors, but that comeback, I think she's gonna be routing back to the hot streak.
Yeah, you can hope that the snowball just was isolated to the 2 holes, make a good putt, get the birdie. Evelina, long look for birdie here.
Okay, beat from far away. Making a little bit left. No damage done. Or so.
Well, we're not going to see your eagle attempt sidearm, unfortunately.
She still has 2 days.
She has 2 days. We'll send her a message.
Kristin, you have to try this one.
Yeah, can you be a little greedy for us? Thanks.
Yeah.
Frankly, she's getting greedy with these birdies. She's about to line herself up another approach to the green. There's that early miss from Paige. Don't think she's going to be in position to grab a birdie.
It's not far away, but the lie can be tricky.
It seems like depth perception is really a big deal here. You need to hit the brakes. There's a lot of room to push the tree line, but you don't want to.
Okay. It sticked right there, literally, by the stick.
Wow, that was rough.
No pun intended.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one. Other than the bogey on 9, Amelia Ness has been playing a fantastic round, currently in 2nd place.
I think the drive is on. You see the drive. You can
looks
see
great.
the confidence. It's
Kona going with the spinner, kind of a high release. Yeah.
making a good make.
It's been really nice to see Kona up towards the top. She's really had a rough couple of years out there trying to find the putt, find the short game. And lately she's been putting together some solid rounds. She actually has a couple different putts now that she goes to.
Good make for Annika Stan as well. I think there's going to be a lots of players around the -1 +2 range. Good make for Evelina. And I think it's going to make it interesting for the weekend if the lead doesn't go too far from there. You know, if it's not going to be more than 7 or under the hot round, then I think it's going to make it very interesting if the whole group can stay together and make it exciting for the last day. Beautiful turnover for Anna Tokas Meniste. Maybe catch the latest tree?
Little bit, but I think she's in a really solid spot. Okay, going to the forehand. We don't see a ton of forehands out of Letamaki. It's okay. You could tell the forehand's a little bit more underdeveloped than the backhand, but I think she's got a little bit of time.
I think she has
Little
lots
bit.
of time. The backhand turnover for righty, as you said, that's the play here. Get it close, not to cut roll or just stick it there in the ring.
Another shot from great positioning. It's those simple putter shots. We've seen a couple of those mistakes today.
And they are costly mistakes. I think it's going to get down to making those small mistakes, those little short approaches.
Yeah, you know, and instead of a birdie, it turns into a par, and what could be a phenomenal round ends up being just a decent one.
Exactly. Ooh, good shot from Annika Stan. It seems to be that the wind is a little bit pushing from left to right. As we saw the Annika throw, it was a little bit lifting when it got to the hyzer, and it was lifting and lifting, pushing into the basket. And I think we are experiencing the same with the right backhand as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of players with that pure power sidearm to get it out there and let the wind actually help you to the basket. I'm curious to see if Kristen goes for it. But yeah, they're all showing the bottom of the disc to the wind.
Oh, surprisingly stable disc. Evelina has the power to throw a little bit more overstable than the others. And it got the fade, and it was beautiful.
If I'm picking anybody to put a bullseye from that range, that's the exact player that I'm picking. I don't care what division.
That's some deadly accuracy.
Yeah, that's perfect, and that's going to be her 6th birdie of the round. She's clean so far. Long birdie look for Matilda.
Good. It's funny to see the flag. There's not much wind, but we could see in the flight. Maybe it's a little bit higher in the air. The airflows are moving. She wanted it.
Almost dropped. Just keeps giving herself these long looks where you have to really work hard on running the basket, but also letting it land soft so you don't have another long comeback. This is going to be only her third par of the round through 10 holes. It's been a real roller coaster for Letomaki. 4 birdies, 3 bogeys.
Ups and downs.
Close. She's been so close so many times.
Yeah, but I love that. You have the capacity to get the birdies, play the good score, just clean the bogeys, and you can do anything.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said, like what you said earlier about overthinking some of these holes. I think it's really simple on some of these shorter par 4s. You don't need to kill the disc. You just need to hit the line with something slow.
Absolutely. And a great make for Evelyn on 11. The one thing I picked from you is you were saying about the page being in the circle 2 almost all day. As a pro, how do you feel it is like a frustrating when you just cannot reach the easy putts, that you are all day working from the circle 2, you get the good stats, you are there to make the score, but you just can't capitalize.
It's really frustrating, and I actually have multiple rounds in my own memory bank that I look back to where you're exhausted because you don't feel like you're throwing terrible, but you look back at your score and you're like, wow, how did I lose by 6 strokes to some other player that I didn't think I was throwing that worse than?
Exactly. Do you think that Paige could be feeling a little bit this way? Because it has been a rough round for her. And
yeah, I don't know. Paige has just been doing this for so long that I think... I don't know. She's a hard one to pin down because of how long her career has been. It's normally a weekend-to-weekend thing for her. So it's not like she's surprised that, you know, it's a rough round. She's had them before. She knows how to deal with them.
Absolutely. As we see the leaderboard, Christine is going 6 under now. I think the 7 under is even in danger if Christine continues the same way that she has played so far. But she's not running away. Ida, Emily, Evelyn, and Matilda 3 under. Anything can happen still. And I think the tone is set today. Even though many of the players, I think the top 20 will be around the even, a little bit under score after the first day.
Okay,
Christine is opting for the power forehand.
This is just a clinic that she's been putting on so far. It feels like she's reached the bullseye like 4 times in these 11 holes.
Lehtomäki trying to turn over and get shot in a circle.
Yeah, they're having to hit all these tough gaps and throw these technical shots, but now they get out into the open. They got a little bit of wind to deal with. That's hazard.
Maybe a little bit errant shot, a little bit high, a little bit hot.
It happens with the Anheuser sometimes. A lot of times you draw the disc to where you want it to end up instead of putting it out to where it needs to start breaking.
Yeah, I think it's the throwing at the target, not to the target.
Exactly.
That's the separator. And I think that that's something you sometimes see from the younger players. Sometimes it's easier to get carried away and just see the basket and I want to be there. And you're shooting at the basket, not to the basket.
Again, nice backhand, not overworking it, just putting it out to that right side. Yeah. Decent shot. Oh, and Evelina's in trouble. This is really tricky short par 5. Curious to see where that ended up.
Ah, that looked so good out of kind of hand. But it was a little overstable. Maybe a tailwind. It was just pushing straight. Looked like a promising shot to go past the initial gap and go far away, but she had a lucky break though.
Yeah, she's going to be fine, especially on this par 5. Being in the fairway is great. Learned some interesting information about Amelia Nessa. She goes to a school in Norway that allows her to train disc golf during school. She goes to one of those sports-specific schools, and I just love that disc golf gets that respect and they acknowledge what she does. What a putt from Paige Pierce, birdie.
That was a good make and important yet again. I think we cannot emphasize that how important those long makes are for Paige to keep her alive and wanting to battle.
Well, that's going to bring her back to one over par. Couple of birdies. You get to 1 under par in the day, especially with how much she struggled early. That's a triumph.
Good make for Ida Lehtomäki. But as you said, I love the recognition that disc golf gets as a sport here in Europe, and especially in the Nordics and in Estonia, for example. It's a very recognized sport and has a large growing support from like authorities and like municipalities and even the countries in the like state level are supporting disc golf and giving actual money and provision things to grow the sport actually here in Europe.
And I think we're going to see this week in and week out on this stretch leading up to the World Championships. I think we've been talking about Worlds so much, but the major before in Estonia is going to be a show as well.
Untapped, download Untapped and check in today. You can use the QR code on the screen. From Untapped, you can find the beer you love. Discover thousands of beers, and you can earn badges by drinking beer. So I think that's a that's a good way. Drink beer, get badges, get recognition.
Yeah, first thing in the morning here, watching the FPO. Scan that QR code, folks.
Yeah, and logging the beers that you have had.
It's actually one of the coolest parts about being a disc golfer is you go travel to a new state, you get to experience a lot more things outside of just playing disc golf. So
Absolutely. And you can actually unlock an exclusive DGPT badge in Untapped for each tournament when you check in at the beer at the course. So I think that's a nice touch to it. Beautiful shot from Matilda.
And we just kind of skipped over this, but Tokyo's Monisteg just got another birdie on the par 5 12th. Back-to-back birdies to kind of start to undo that double and that bogey that she took on 10 and 11. And I think she's putting herself in contention of potentially playing the lead card. And that's a resourceful day.
I think so. And we haven't seen many big mistakes from the feature cards that we have seen here on broadcast. And I think Anneli is really, really shooting the course hard, counting that she has a double bogey and a bogey. And coming back in. Tied for second.
Yeah, 6 birdies so far. Solid shot off the tee on 13.
Now we're seeing on tee of 12, Cynthia Klesberga.
A little bit of hyzer flip on that. Getting back to fade. Just clipping something late.
I'm sorry, in tee of 13.
Seven down through 11 holes. Kristen Latt is on a tear, 4 birdies in a row. And I was not sure how she was going to perform during this stretch. I think there were some people that were trying to just tell her, take a break. You broke your toe. You've been sick. Just rest. And she just wouldn't quit. She kept playing through it. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be to her benefit or her detriment.
You're absolutely right, Brian. We are having a small commercial break. And yet again, don't go anywhere. We are right back here at DGN.
The discovery of electricity, the first flight, democracy, splitting the atom, computers, modern medicine, space travel, and of course, the Royal Line from Latitude 64.
Legends built it. The next generation is elevating it. The most dominant team in disc golf history just got deeper. World champions, record breakers, the future of the game, united under one banner. This isn't just competition, it's a legacy in motion. This is the next chapter. Discraft, built for flight.
Welcome back. Kristen Latt on tee of 12. Good break yet again.
That snuck through a couple of really important trees.
I have a feeling that this specific fairway loves our players because I have seen quite a good kicks. Getting you on the fairway, getting you tree love.
Got to take what you can get on this one. This is a really tricky par 5. Just got to stick the fairway on this first shot. Don't need to bite off too much.
I think you can still build from there. And if you play conservative, I think par should be crabbable, even if you're a little bit off. Because
Definitely.
Because it's not that far. You just have played for the position then.
Yeah, Paige going way slow. She's throwing putter off the tee.
Oh, but okay. that looks like she has almost a small pitch out for the actual position to go over.
Yeah, I think she's totally fine with being there. You see a lot of players throw some different lines off this tee. Everyone's strategy is just a little bit different.
Oh, that might be a little bit deep, or hard to tell from here.
Yeah, well, as we fly over this whole kind of this interesting fairway that we're playing, Nate Perkins down on the ground. Can you kind of walk us through, paint the picture of this hole for the people?
Yeah, so obviously you have that technical gap you have to hit off the tee. You want to move the right-hand backhand shot a little right at first before it starts fading. And then this year they've kind of opened up that OB bubble. So if you do make it clean and you want to go for eagle and you miss, you don't get as much stroke and distance. And from the fairway where the wood chips are, it's slightly downhill, about 12 feet descending from the fairway to the green. And then you have this menacing OB line that you have to clear. And the tree line right often doesn't let discs filter through. And that's how we see big numbers on this hole.
Yeah, Ida, just a little bit pinched. Menacing is a great word.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I couldn't have said it better. Oh, a little bit on the right side. Pushes it out.
Evelina still sits in a tie for second place with Ringboom and Togias Manistay. Anniken Sten also with 3 birdies in a row, jumping into a tie for second.
We see some action on the back nine now.
Kristen just gets to pan one off to the left.
That's a beautiful shot. And I have a feeling that's all you need. You can push it down the hill, but it might mix your run up a little bit if you need to take a run up to the downhill.
Not going to fall for Kona.
I bet she would have liked that one to go under par.
Yeah, like we've said earlier, this is the day to score. Wind, usually, especially being next to the water, is usually higher than what it is right now. Now that basket off in the distance, just a little bit misleading. That is not the basket. Page going off to the left here.
Oh, that's all you need. Did you actually know that in Norway, in Norwegian, they have their own word for like weather sadness? Because it's so the weather can be so bad, especially during the winter time, but also in the summertime. So they have this like own word describing that you get like depressed because it's always raining and winding in Norway. And I think it points out how spectacular the weather is, even though it's not hot, it's not warm. Especially if you're coming from the stateside, I think you're used to a little bit more hotter climate. So I think that's the best Norway can give you at this point of the year. Togias managed to making a putt.
Yeah, really snap back to focus after that bogey stretch. 3 birdies in a row, 4 under par on the day. And I'm just curious, you know, in years past, when Kristen won, the total score was, I believe it was 6 under for the entire weekend. And I feel like the course is playing harder. Field is just getting that much better.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm getting excited. I think scoring is important for like excitement, but at the same time, it gives the players a little bit extra drive because they know they have to push, they have to miss putts, getting a bogey. It can be a real separator from you and the competition. So I think it's important to have these birdie possibilities, even though these close to even par scoring weekends, they are also exciting. But I think here's a little bit more action, a little bit more swings, and smaller things might have a more bigger impact on the end result.
Page going across. Just needs to helicopter down.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's kind of the Page bread and butter. That's stable to understable putter, just thrown hard. 13 for a lefty is tough.
Oh, that looks like a little bit rough spot. Making it right.
You want to just push the backside OB, bend left, way up the hill. Back to 12. Kristen's forehand across. That's the shot I'm talking about.
That's the shot.
It is
That's
a thing of beauty.
Oh, that was something. And did you see the float it got?
Yeah, because these are not just wicked overstable discs. These are right in the middle of the stability range. And she can throw these really tight flexes that don't veer off the line too much.
Exactly. And I want to emphasize on the nose angle, because it had yet again the subtle nose angle to give it a float, give it riding, and when it started sliding, it was a little bit coming nose up, so it could slide up the hill. Magic.
It's really hard to control nose angle on a forehand, and there's some players that can do it just really, really well.
He'll have to make it throw in fourth. And I love these approaches. I think our card is doing a great job approaching the pin.
Ring boom on 13. Decent shot. Gets caught up on the left side.
Tokyo's managed on 14. Par 3, 99 meters. Leaving a little bit short. 14 is playing surprisingly hard. Only 2 birdies for the day. So no damage with the par over there.
I want to throw it down to Nate Perkins again if we have you, Nate. We were just talking about how total score for Kristen's win in 23 was 6 under, and now she's sitting at 7 down through 11 holes as we approach the green of 12. What is it about this field that's just getting that much better, scoring that much better, or has the course changed that significantly?
I actually feel that the course is playing a bit harder this year. I think you're spot on that the field is getting better. I also feel like it's very condition based out here. The weather can just turn so fast, and if I recall from that year, there were 2 days and it was just an onslaught of wind. The course was really wet, so I think it's just really the calm conditions this morning and the lack of rain that's allowing for such low scoring. Back to you.
It seems to me like this course is a really perfect FPO layout that they've laid out there.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to see how it does evolve throughout the weekend, because I think the players are solving when they are playing it through now, first time in the competition, and that was a little bit unlucky break for Page. Leak it to the right side and got pushed out. not the mistake that she wanted.
No, 20-foot miss just never feels good, especially after throwing a shot like that.
Christian tapping in.
Still a chance for Paige to get back to even. That was definitely one of her easiest shots. But definitely still a chance. Kristen picks up her 5th birdie in a row. She moves to 8 through 12. This is championship stuff.
I think she's hungry. She's hungry for more, and she came here to win. And not that she haven't won to win before this season, but she has had the struggles. Maybe it's the injury behind, but she came prepped.
Yeah, she's had to fight a lot more this year. It hasn't been a walk in the park to get wins. And yet she still had just a phenomenal season so far.
Absolutely. And it's funny, you know, we are seeing her need to fight, and it sounds like it hasn't been that good a season. It has been a good season
really
yet again. not that far apart. Everyone throwing a hyzer over the trees. Got stuck in there early.
Oh, really nice flex sidearm from Sten.
Yeah. Second we've seen today.
As a lefty, it's hard to not develop that over time, especially some of the courses that you see. Oh, boy.
Such a hard break. A little bit high. Coming in flat. Hit the pole.
Yeah, it's like you can rationalize the spit out all you want and tell yourself, oh, it's too high, whatever. It hurts no matter what.
It hurts.
No matter what. Especially from that range.
There's always this discussion about baskets and which baskets are good and which are bad, and these are the worst. I think the baskets, I think Terry Miller, I think, said it really nice at one time, that he said the baskets, they are part of the course. You know, you have to adapt to the baskets when you're coming to the course, because they are part of it. They're part of the experience, and you know, you have to know in this level what is the putt that is needed for this kind of basket, and I think that's one part of the recipe as well. So I think it's a good thing we have a wide variety of baskets, and they all have their unique qualities. Christian on TF13.
That looks to be okay. Another laser beam out of the hand. Her backhand timing has looked shaky at times this year, and today it has looked more on point than maybe I've seen it all season long.
Yeah, reminiscent of 23.
Yes.
And she has had this like period of throwing mostly forehands and doing this little bit like own stuff, flex stuff forehands. Now that looks good. A little bit early for Ida. Got struck down by the tree.
This is how I know Lehtomäki is here to stay as an elite player. It looks like she hasn't been having that great of a round. She's right there on the leaderboard, tied for 4th place, 2 down.
Exactly. And I think both of the young players here in our first feature card is they are both controlling their emotions. They are not getting angry, frustrated. Not that is visible to us. Maybe they have something bubbling under, but every shot, it's concentrated. It's they are there to play their best game.
Little stall shot from Nessa. Yeah, that should be just fine.
I love that. I think those rocks, they are a nice marker. That's the place where you want to end up, because you have this gap to shoot through, and yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting to talk about kind of the younger players and how their mental game has come along. And I remember doing a lesson for a juniors player back in the States, and they're already talking about their ego. They're already talking about how they manage their emotions. And even just outside of competition, I think that's just a wonderful thing for the development of a kid to have a game like this that makes you feel such big emotions. And I don't know, I always joke that disc golf is the greatest therapist I've ever had.
Oh, that's but that's true. I could say it's anger therapy. But
it's a lifelong journey, you know.
Oh,
it's just
it is.
trying to figure out why you feel certain ways on the course and why certain things trigger you.
Exactly.
And it's just impressive to see the poise in some of these players. You were talking about Cadence Burge as well. Just unbelievable poise under pressure.
Oof. That's something, and that takes years to develop.
Yeah,
like fully, but they are in a great path, and and you can see that some of the breaks they are not feeling that good, and of course it's natural, and it's okay to let it out as well.
Yes.
Like not in an anger way, but in the sadness or that kind of
Definitely.
like don't hold it inside.
Yeah, some sports psychologists will call that like mental flexibility. Like feel the negative emotion, but don't let it snowball into the rest of your self-worth, essentially.
He left Mackie thinking the options and waiting.
Let's throw it down to Nate Perkins, actually, as we watch Kona Montgomery. Nate, can you talk to us on the backups that we're seeing? Is there something specific about that hole that's so challenging, or what's going on out there?
Yeah, that hole's always been trouble. It's the way that the fairway slopes. I think so many players are just hyper concerned about the angle. And then it's like a stroke in distance if you go up. It should clear up, even though the stretch 15 through 18 can really determine the tournament here. Back to you.
Finding Paige in kind of an interesting place deep of the fairway. I would call her probably one of the best in FPO from this step out position, but how much does she really want to bite off here?
Exactly, and she haven't had that like blazing round so far, and I see that there's a little like pressure building up in her. You know, you have to make a shot where you can make the next one, and it can tense you up. Maybe bite too big of a bite that you're not ready to bite yet. Oh,
that's fine.
Oh, well, that I think that was really good.
Yeah.
And way she held the balance after the shot, it was good.
It's funny how good getting back to even feels. Even though it's just one stroke better than +1, you finish +1, it feels totally different than when you finish even. So I think, you know, she might be in that headspace of just give me one more birdie. I'm running out of chances. I just need to get to even.
And I think it's really important. Make best of it, you know?
Exactly.
You can't win every day. You cannot play your best. Make best of it what you have for the day.
There's some hyzer power from Nessa.
Absolutely. But the green is protected from those.
Exactly.
Super high to push through. Evelina on 14.
Caught up a little bit early on that left side. They're wanting you to throw that long, dragging turnover. Here's a hole Anakin's just stepping up to, smiling.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You got the spin in the right direction. You can just let it fade. You know it's going to filter down or push forward the upslope.
I will say, though, I think this course, when it comes to the forehand, backhand demands, I think it's a very balanced property. I think, you know, a player like Anakin can win just as easily as a player like Ida can win throwing mainly backhands, which I think is cool.
Absolutely. And there's, like, not that much of a pre-selected shots. It's really dependent on where you are on this each fairway. And you have this wide variety of shots you can take and what suits your field house. As we see Kristin opted out for the opting in for the forehand.
Wanted just a hair more height. Almost got back to flat. Togias Monty stay on 15. This is a part of the course that is no longer on the actual property. I believe this uses some land from the neighbor down the road.
Really?
Just a small segment that, they gave permission.
Like knocking on the door. Excuse me.
Can I build a disc golf course here? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What do you need? No, just land. I will bring my own basket and OB sticks.
Couple of nice shots from Togias Monty. Back to Page.
Absolute dime. I love it. That, as we have said many times, that's the bread and butter for Page. Toddler up shot, 80 meters.
And it used to not be that. It used to be the big distance driver, 500-foot shot, 70 miles an hour, and her game has just kind of matured over time. Oh.
It's stuck in the tree. Do you think it's the ace disc from last week? I want it back.
Well, I was told that the disc that she aced with back there was a water disc, so I'm not sure if it's even in the bag anymore.
It has to be.
Well, this would be a real statement putt. Oh, boy.
That's a statement. We are rolling back to the Zuka replay of the amazing putt by Kristin.
Perfect speed, and it opens up the weak side. I always say it. If you putt too hard, that left side of the basket is harder to stick on. That was perfection.
Absolutely, and that I always think when I see this kind of putt, just don't leave it low. Don't let it roll back. And she didn't leave it low.
9th birdie of the day. That's 6 in a row for Kristin.
Great make for Ida Emily. Do you think Kristin heard us when we were speaking about the hot round? And she was like, guys.
I'm insulted.
I'm insulted. I'm going to do better.
Now, I guess I was going off of what we saw last year, and I was thinking, well, there has to be some part of this course that is going to give them trouble, but I think what Perkins said, this course with wind is just really a different property.
Yeah, that's a... It could have been the tree on the putting lane. Not exactly in front, but you can see it and you can feel it. You don't want to hit that tree. But it's the windy situations that give players like Kristin still the upper hand, because they have the power. Evelina can play great in windy weather because she has the power to throw the more overstable. They can always disc up and make it work. That was a close call. Good catch though. Good part for Ida. And one thing I love about these baskets is that they are a little bit iffy in the middle if you hit the pole. But sometimes you get the one chain pulling.
Yes, on the outside.
I love. The last chain you can get. Oh, let's get it in. So, Anniken for birdie. Money. That's money.
Yeah, it feels good to capitalize on the hole that you call a lefty hole. And everyone has to tell you it's the lefty hole, too.
Yeah, there was only 3 birdies before. Rachel Turden and Sophia Donecki had birdied the hole before. And a make for Evelina.
She looked down. She knew that was a little bit of a shaky putt.
Mm-hmm.
Gets it to stick.
Yeah. Luckily we are through 14. Not much to be played anymore today, so you can sit back and reset. Good one for Kona as well. And moving on to Zenny flyover over hole 14. Brian.
Yeah, one of the shorter holes in the course, 99 meters, but we see the specific line that it takes to get there. A forehand can get there, but you're not going to stick a bullseye. You're going to get yourself into circle one, but you're probably going to be short right. The backhand is great. You're going to have to drag a turnover. There's still a lot of space in the air. You got to put the disc out there. So I think we'll see some of this and some backhand turnover.
Does it have the stability?
Yes, not a lot of room to throw that flex. It's a little bit more direct to do this.
Those turnovers, they get caught by the trees because you have to have the heights.
Well, yeah, you see how the trees kind of create that canopy. It almost creates like a triple mando. You have to sneak under.
Oh, looked so beautiful from the T cam. Just overturned. Tiniest of error. Yet again, challenging the trees. Nope.
Tricky.
Yep. Access denied on that one.
This is a bold run. You see the OB stakes. A little bit of wind pushing left.
Oh,
all good.
All good.
All good.
Live to see another day. But there's something in this hole 14 that I personally enjoy. Like 100 meters, not looking that challenging, but it has the tricks up in its sleeves. On the stand, on tee of 15, par 5, 258.
Yeah, a bit pulled off to the left there, but got to an okay spot. But you need to get right. That's the unfortunate thing about where Anakin is.
And I think the opening drive on 15, it's a yeet. You want to pump it far to give you easy access to the second, setting you close to the edge of the OB. I think we're going to see it better when our feature card 1 is arriving there. Page, second. Close to OB, but not catching the OB.
That would have been frustrating.
Oh, say about it. You see the snow-covered mountains in the background and such a scenery to play disc golf in.
Okay.
Huh? Do you think that the right side of the fairway is better for the lefty for the approach when you're thinking about it?
I think it is better because the green kind of slopes down towards the left, so the hyzer can come in. Letamaki lays up. No problem there. Still shooting a pretty solid round. Just hasn't gotten a lot of momentum in regards to stringing together birdies.
Yeah, maybe we see Kristin Ladd yet again on her own level, separating herself from the others. I think everyone else in the field, they have had a little struggle every now and then, a couple of errant holes, and Kristin just shooting.
This is to continue. Oh my goodness. We got Grand Slam Kristin today.
Yeah. She came out to play.
This Circle 2 putt is still relatively newer. I believe last season is when she started doing this kind of straddle with the foot stationary behind the disc instead of hopping with both feet. I think she really wanted to maintain legality without any question. And man, it is looking so good today.
And that's a nice take on it, because I find Kristin a player who wants to play the way that nobody has anything to say to her. You know, if you catch her, for example, this famous foot fault call, she makes sure that she's never getting that call again.
Exactly.
And that's something I really highly value as well, because there is like, you could play like playing on the limit. Okay, you can call me, but I don't change anything.
Yeah, too close to call kind of thing. Yep.
But Kristin is like, I can hear some yapping and mumbling. I will change it so I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah, that's called being a pro. That's definitely a pro move. Tokyo Smana stay on the tricky 16th. Got to keep this low.
Let's scoot down. Green flag.
Slopes down towards the OB. Got to watch the landing of the drive on 16. Moniste still sits there, 3 down.
On 16, Kristin could throw actually a ego bit for forehand. Calling it out.
Not opposed to it.
I think it's 10. 15. Third shot.
Yeah, so she was a little bit too far to the right, so that does not give her any angle. Those rocks are really frustrating to deal with.
It would have required a standstill shot from there.
But yeah, now we get to 15.
Such a laser beam from Kristin.
Just in the pocket. Just great backhand timing. She's directing the disc. You can tell that everything she's putting into the shot is in control.
Let's see how Eli answers.
There was a player that she reminded me of, and I couldn't quite figure out whose throw it was. I believe Evan Smith in the MPO division is the guy that I'm thinking of. I'm going to have to go do a double check.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Super smooth.
Absolutely. And she answered with a laser beam as well. A little bit early out of Paige's hand.
Yeah, it's an 846-foot par 5, and really, you just need to put the first one in play. Big distance has to come off the second.
Good. Delivery incoming. Middle of fairway.
Let's do a quick form review. Brought to you by Disc Golf Deals USA. Kristin is one of the few players that really deliberately pumps the disc forward on the first step. A lot of times you want to have it linked with your off foot, but the trick here is she has a quick cross step, and she waits a little bit after she pumps. And the big timing break that can happen is if right when you pump, you start to bring the arm back as the cross step is coming through. She doesn't do that, and it catches up perfectly. Isaac Robinson, another player in the MPO division that pumps on the first. And clearly, can't question that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's double time. Cannot question that.
Yeah, it's iconic at this point.
How do you feel that Kristen's form has evolved throughout the years? Because I see it has become a little bit more fluent. There was, if I remember right, there was a little hop in the middle when she was starting to rise up and get known, and she has smoothed it out and given it more like a fluid motion.
Well, Paul Ulibarri, years ago, you know, when he was talking to me about switching from his stutter step to the X step, and he said, well, the hardest thing is you can't down-tempo gravity.
That's true.
Yeah, I've noticed the same thing.
That's down-tempo.
There's that timing from Paige. That's a smash. Beautiful shot.
Such a great shot. Brings me to the idea that maybe it's the timing issues are from like trying to downtone your throw. You know, she's a little bit slowing down, putting it down, make it a little bit more slower. Maybe due to injury.
Potentially.
And now there was Road to Rome, and she just yeeted it.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot. And yeah, sometimes like when you're trying to throw certain angles harder, that's where the timing break happens. Everyone has that one angle range that they're the most comfortable throwing fast or slow in. And yeah, who knows? I could speculate all day on, on these misses from Paige, but I'm sure if you asked her, she would just say, yep, they're just misses.
Yeah. Moving on.
If I knew the answer, I would probably not be doing it.
That's true. So, coming to Ida Lehtomäki. Second shot.
One of the things I love about the nature of this course is it feels like you're in like 5 different places on this property. There's like a hole, I believe it's 13, where it feels kind of prehistoric, and now you're out here in the open. It feels like you're in a completely different place.
Okay. High hyzer. Distance control on point.
Yeah, it's going to be just fine.
Yep.
Another power hyzer in play.
I'm actually interested to see whether Kristen is throwing forehand or backhand. But I understand for throw.
Perfect touch.
Evelyn Salonen. For birdie and cashes it in. Good pot. Getting back the confidence on the middle. A little bit more power, as you said. Let's just eat it to the basket.
Yeah, I love that the struggles on the putting green are not snowballing into just consistent misses. I love that she just gets back on the horse. She's putting harder. She's found the confidence with her game.
Exactly. Annie Turks Magnificent 16. Putting for birdie. Just low.
On this shot, she has a lot more room off on the right side. OB.
Yeah, pushing too long. I was just thinking about Kristin's eagle hunting yet again. Since they were on the eagle safari. I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram, that they made a post. that would be great. Kristin throwing an eagle after being on eagle safari. That's a good shot from Paige.
And that's going to be the look that gets her potentially back to even par. And currently just tied for 11th place. Not in a terrible place from how many misses we've seen. Gonna see the longer forehand here from Ida.
Oh, leaving something on the bone, but makeable putt for her. Maybe there's a little bit of wind picking up after we see the flags in the background.
Yeah, this is going to be the most exposed hole I think that they're going to play.
Maybe that was the reason why she was opting in for the forehand as well.
Yeah,
against the wind.
It's just a trickier backhand to land on the green with the slope. Yeah.
Good job.
Evelina trying to crest the hill on 16. Yeah, this is just fine.
Oh, I love the break. It would have been unnecessary. OB stroke. Oh, I have to get down. Oh, good. Good stop, good stop. Yeah, I think in many places on this course, the speed control is the key element that you have to rely on, and you need to be consistent with the speed control because you quickly get out of bounds or end up in a otherwise bad spot.
Yeah, and I like that there's a few places on this course where you do get to pull out the distance driver and open it up. I love a hole like this. Just give you a little taste of wind. You're tightening up your form, trying to hit all these gaps, and then you have to stretch it all out again. And yeah, it's a really balanced property. Again, I counted like 7 holes where forehand was preferred. 6 holes where backhand is definitely the best option. And then there's some holes where I think you can get away with either. Oh. Was thinking we were going to see player 2 there for a second.
Just hanging around. But I think that's you don't want to risk too much on that putt. It was a long putt for birdie. You're taking par, walking away, staying there in the mix.
Ida has had so many looks at the basket for birdie. What could have been if she just made a few more circle 1 looks? I guess they have her listed as missing 4 circle 2, so maybe just outside the circle.
Okay.
But still some makeable putts.
Closer in many cases, but yeah. Oh, surprising low miss from Kristin.
After 7 birdies in a row, that's going to be a bogey on 15. That's got to sting.
Yeah, for sure. It looked a little bit quick out of her hand. Maybe a little nerves kicked in. Maybe she looked at the scores and was, oh, God dang. I'm doing good.
I'm doing too good.
Yeah. Maybe 1 back.
Got to give a big shout out to Paige, getting back to even on the round. And now a potential... With 3 holes left, she could go under par and put herself pretty solid up the leaderboard.
Absolutely, and as we see, it's tied for 2, 3 under, Evelyn Sanen and only Tokas Manifte. There's a heavy mix of players. You need to play good if you want to survive there. And beautiful upshot from Annika Sten.
Birdie here's going to put her in solo second place.
Yep.
And there's your chance.
Looked like the small roll away, but putting for sure. So it has been an exciting day, and as we see, many players tied for second. 3 under, Kristin going on her own way, 9 under.
I would be shocked if she continues this pace. If the conditions start to maybe pick up a little bit, the wind starts to pick up. But she did exactly what she needed to do, at least right now. Still has to throw clean through these last 3. But this is where you build up the cushion.
Coming in the end stretch, 10-10 discs, crunch time. We are going to have a commercial-free end of the round. 10-10 discs are offering this one, and it's a crunch time. It's going to be a hefty ending. We have the 18 coming in, playing somewhat dangerous. Then it can be even the full hole. Let's see how it plays out. I want to see Kristin go double digits. I just want to see it. I'm gonna hear the voice calling in my head like, I told you, I'm gonna play double digits.
Yeah, she's giving us a real clinic right now, and you know, she threw out of bounds the previous hole, missed a short putt. See if she can snap back to focus on 16. It's a tricky shot. You got to hit the gap and then finish straight. Okay.
Okay. A little bit pulled from the hand, but good result.
Yeah, it's okay to finish right, especially on the backhand. You could hit something very easily and kind of push roll off the tree or rock or whatever you hit. The thing you can't do is throw it high. Wow.
Absolute dime. I love that one. It looked a little bit dangerous. As you said, you can't throw it high. That wasn't even high, and you still got, or she still got quite close to the OB. Do you think she was going for the flex play, or?
I think she was. I think she was trying to throw it significantly lower. Try to push it forward a little bit more. And this also needs to get down. Yes.
Yes.
And that gives her some options. You can play the left side forehand.
I think I love the left side forehand play.
Yeah, it just depends on what the wind is doing out there. Kona for birdie on 16. Got it.
And good job, Kona. Good make.
And she's sitting at 1 down. It's been a solid day so far for Kona. She's tied for 6th place.
Everything a little bit quick on the butting green. High, flash out. I was thinking when we were watching the approaches, and it has been interesting to see that in Evelina's putting game, I think the edge of circle 1, very confident.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get between the 4 to 6 meters, she gets a bit speedy with the putt.
Mm-hmm.
And what a make for Anneli Torgesmännistö for birdie.
She looks really comfortable on this track, and that's with a couple of really simple misses on holes 9 and 10. I think we could see her giving Kristen a run for her money tomorrow if she cleans up those mistakes, because otherwise she's been playing a fantastic day of disc golf.
Absolutely. That was Zuka replay. Thank you, Zuka.
Yep, no problem there. Just conservative forehand.
Yeah, I think we are seeing Inanese turning out to play a little bit conservative, feeling that this might not be the day to attack.
Mm-hmm.
She had a couple of bad breaks in the midway, and now she's just trying to preserve and not to take damage. Not that she's playing bad by any means, but just playing a little bit more careful.
Page second puts her to the edge of the circle. Chance to go under par.
Mm-hmm.
A real triumph after the way the day's been going.
Yeah, it has been a roller coaster for Paige.
It really has been. It's one of those days you finish and you go, I don't know what that was, and you just hang up the bag and just move on with your day.
Mm. Kristin is forced to straddle out a bit for the forehand. Looks a little bit tight. Oh, but...
You didn't know she was going to do that?
No. It wasn't on my script. Was it on yours?
Of course.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I have
the backspin? Yeah. Beautiful shot.
Absolutely. Now we are seeing Julia Foss, 13 years old, playing great day. A little bit of roller coaster in somewhat over there and here, but the birdies and having the 1 and 18. It's easy to smile after that one.
Yeah, what were you doing when you were 13 years old?
Not playing on that level of any game.
Incredible stuff. Yeah, just really awesome to see.
Oh, unfortunate roll.
I can't quite tell from that rope if she's safe or not.
It's going to be a short putt anyway. Let's see on the group call what we are going to see on the Ida Lehtomäki.
I believe she ended up being safe. Yeah, just creeping over the line there. Sitting at 2 down. Putting for birdie. And here we go on number 18, Togias Moniste. Conservative forehand. It's got to come back.
Did it get to the pocket?
I think she's okay. Yeah, she's on the fairway.
Oh, that's nice. Low miss for Paige. But I think you are right. She wants to go under par. Now that she reached the even, now she wants one more. Coming back.
And that's the kind of stuff that people like Paige can do. They have a day where you're on her card thinking, what is she at? I don't even know what score she's at. Is she 4 or 5 over par? And then, oh, here she is, top 10.
How do you like the back nine for Christian so far?
Wow. Not a single par.
Nice par for Iletomak as well, and as you said, confirmed as inbound. So beautiful birdie. Staying in the mix. Tied for second. No, sorry, tied for fourth. And it Turkish man is there. Second throw. She wants it. She wants to get.
Oh, are you serious?
Second time today. She's hunting the baskets.
I would have jumped right into the. Oh my gosh! I would have jumped into the water.
Ay ay ay. That's something. Zuka replay. I told you, she wants to get it. Hunting for the eel.
Oh, that's a lifetime throw, and if you can land that, that would have been
yeah.
just unbelievable.
But she was saved by the flag yet again. Well, the first time there was no danger, but this one, I think she would have been OB.
Wow.
Oh, that's a nice way to end the round.
Evelina grabs the birdie. She's at 4 down. Ties Togismani stay. Sten. Got some players trying to chase Kristen. She's making it tough on him. 17, you just have to throw a big turnover. They've tightened the OB since last time they played here. And that's just fine.
I think I love it. It's just in the middle of fairway. The approach is not that far. So great result. No danger.
Yeah. Yeah, you go with the forehand. You're going to put yourself a little bit farther back on the hill, but it's a pretty straightforward shot. And really, with the way that Kristen's been throwing, I think she can throw backhand or forehand just fine. Yeah, it's a little low.
It's easy to get the cut roll on the sloped fairway.
Paige going putter there. We're going to see Ida take out the driver. Got to get this high.
And high she goes. And it pans out.
Look at this.
Looks.
Oh, and there's that tightened OB.
Oh, such a heartbreak.
And that's the risk that you have to take now. That is, I mean, sad, but it's going to be a pretty simple up and down to get the par.
Yeah, for sure. And I say it's heartbreaks. She was almost saved by the OB stick.
Well, it's wild how far right they want her to get. By tightening that OB, that shot just has to be that much more precise.
Marna Ringboom on TF18. Throwing a beautiful turnover. She had a little bit of a rough stretch on the back nine. But coming back on 2 birdies on the last 2 holes. So
sitting pretty on the tee, or on the fairway of 18. Now Evelina going turnover.
Was caught by the tree. It seems.
Yeah, super clean.
Absolutely. I think this hole has some reminiscent parts of hole number 14 at the Beast, Nokia. Because you have this very tight landing zone when you want to go to the basket. And it's easy to have a couple quick strokes on the circle and circle 2. Especially putting to the higher basket.
And you're referring to 16, correct? With the,
yeah,
with the hay bales? Yes, yes.
Yeah, the hay bales. Sorry.
Super tough green to access.
Filter through. Unfortunately, caught in the trees. Tristan opting for the backhand. Shooting the basket. The third middle hit. Oh, Zuga
She's trying.
That. Yeah, it was the one bogey. I'm gonna get it back now.
That would have dropped in with just such perfect speed. That would have looked like a putt.
Yeah.
The basket would have just gently grabbed it, just carried it in.
I'm gonna have you in. Just come in.
Wow. I actually want to catch up with a lot of these players and ask them how often they're thinking about throwing in. Because it seems like more and more we're seeing players try to gently drop them on the weak side of the basket this season.
Yeah, I can see the trend.
Yeah. Players like Matt Bell, Greg Barsby, they've been saying that they've been doing that for years. Amelia Ness's third shot after going OB by just a few inches. Got to get up and down here. Yeah, that should be fine. Interesting hole. I'm not sure if this is the final version or if there's more changes to be made in the future. What do you think?
I'm thinking a little bit same. I love the sloped fairway after the first throw, but at the same time, I think the basket location is quite open wherever you land on the fairway. So if I would do something, I would move the basket a little bit deeper back, like inside the hugging to the forest. So you would need to actually penetrate the forest to get to the pin and maybe give you a little bit challenging circle 1 putt. So move it a little bit left maybe, or maybe actually high right.
Yes,
that could be also an option.
We just watched Anneli Togias-Maniste tapping the birdie on 18 to get to 5 down. She's solo second place.
I think Paige was running it.
Little soft bid.
Yeah.
It's tough to do that with the flick from such a short range.
Great make for Ida.
Now she's going to go to 4 down.
And tied for third. Let's see if there's going to be a crowd on tied for 2. Oh, for the second. Since Togias-Maniste made the birdie. And there's lots of players looking for the second spot. I think Ida Milanesa has played solid today. Couple of misses every now and then, but she has had very solid and, as we spoke before, like conservative round. I think she's acknowledging that it's not her day, maybe today, to attack. So I'm gonna make best of it what I have. Page for par.
Yeah, going back to Ida, she started out great. 4 birdies in that first 8 holes, and then the moment she took that bogey on 9, she just deflated. And not sure if that's how she feels about her round. Maybe it's just matter of fact that's what happened, but we'll see what kind of momentum she can drum up tomorrow. Evelina attacking the green on 18.
Coming in hot.
There's her
that
chance.
was some Velcro on the ground.
Yeah.
It did not move at all.
So now left side, lefty hyzer, got to get over these trees.
Think about the back row.
Yeah. So that's going to be a putt for par. And already some separation happening.
Absolutely, but it's the Kristin doing Kristin things. That's just something. 11 under through 17. Possibility to get the birdie on 18. 12 under.
Well, you got to get somewhat aggressive on 18. The last thing you want to do is come into this green with any bit of power or speed. You want to throw something soft if possible. Big backhand turnover works just fine. Forehand with the slope of everything gives you pretty decent positioning. But you want to open up this angle a lot. There's all sorts of reference points given to you. But like we said about hole 16 at the Beast, it's a tight green. And even though it's right in front of you, it's hard to stick sometimes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Zenny, for the flyover. Cut roller danger. Was she throwing a roller?
I would have to. There's no way. I like the idea.
Yeah, for sure. But that was risky play if she wanted to throw a hyzer. Roller. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it was. I think maybe the wind got it and.
Well, it almost turned out to be good. It wanted to flip up.
Do that.
Exactly.
That's the shot.
Yeah. It has been a clinic today. And I think we are going to have it for the last two shots as well.
Paige going to try to throw that long turnover. Splits the trees.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
She got the lob. I think that was the best result that she could have gotten out of that one. I want to see her take a birdie on this last one to get a good ending for the round and be ready for tomorrow.
Also, just to show that both of these these kids are hanging with two of the best players in the game and beating one of them.
Yes. Mata Ringbom for birdie and great make. Such a intimidating putt watching OB behind. Annika missing low.
Yeah, she's going to lose that spot at 4 down. She's going to drop to 3. And that's more than likely going to do it for her chance at lead card tomorrow. And man, what started as such a solid in-control round has really turned. She's got to take a breath on this putt as well. Yeah. 3 down.
And still in the mix. Well, Kristin is still leading by a big margin, but there's a great battle for the second.
There's a separate mix now that started for round number 2.
Exactly. From this angle, it's really challenging to control the distance because you're throwing such a straight at the basket.
Yeah, and speaking of which, she can't even stick it on the green. She's short, out of bounds. I don't know how far she's going to be from the pin, but
And that's the thing. If you want to make the mistake,
Yeah.
overshoot it. Make
For
sure
sure.
you are in the circle after the second shot.
Yeah, it's almost as if you're trying to enter through the mouth that it's created for, you have to almost push over that far fence to have enough distance to make it in bounds.
Exactly.
It's kind of deceiving. Let's see if Paige can give us a highlight. She doesn't like it.
It was the same as Ida Emelinetta
Yeah.
had. A little bit early out of the hand. Paige knew that she needed to throw at the right side fence.
It almost feels like you want to try to throw straight and then just let the disc naturally fade at the end, and it's tough to trust your disc to do that. You'd rather just throw something stable or throw something on hyzer. But Kristen has smoked this drive. Chance to go to 12.
Do you think she's opting for the forehand, even though it's a little bit more obstructed?
I think this is far enough to where she's just going to go over stable mid on the
see.
backhand.
Yeah, could be the same white disc that we have seen all day.
Yeah. Go up about 50 feet, we might see her force the forehand, but not here.
Yeah.
That also looked a little early.
Yep. And it is.
Wow.
What
Three
are
of the
we
same miss.
seeing, Brian? This is something that I did not see coming.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a bogey from Kristen. She's gonna
for
drop
sure.
back to 10. Hey. Beggars can't be choosers here.
Oh yeah. Now we see Kristen's replay. Never crossing over.
Oh yeah, she's way far back. She's 100 feet back.
Okay. 2 OB strokes, but you are still playing the same score as everyone else.
Man. It's true that, same score as everyone on your card, but you just cost yourself playing on camera on the lead card for the next day. Oh, I don't know what we're watching right now. There's just something about the entrance to this green that's tripping people up.
Absolutely. I'm actually very surprised to see this much of a struggle to enter the green. As we spoke, you want to make sure that you cross,
It's these 3 trees on kind of in the middle that's on that curved part of the fencing. You have to get in front of those trees, but as you see that will send you to the shallow side of the green, so you have to throw a very straight shot. Oh no.
Oh no. When I said that this hole can be tricky, I was not expecting this tricky.
I believe she's putting 6.
So Kristen is back in the mix.
Yeah, she's back in the mix. Everyone's back together again.
Yeah. And not in the way that we thought, but yeah, she's back in the mix. Quick replay of Kristen. But I think it's, you are watching everybody else miss early, then you do this. You overcook it, and then you are missing late.
And this is that range, she's openly mentioned that she doesn't like to throw the putter backhands from the standstill from this range. And we've seen her miss before. But man, this hole is just shockingly frustrating.
Yeah. I think we are now seeing the Idam Nesse throwing next. Yeah, because we had Paige and Christine.
This round is really kind of breezed along, and then all of a sudden we get to hole 18 and everything comes to a screeching halt.
Think about the same event on the Championship Sunday.
Yeah. Got fans all around the green.
Solid. Yeah. Making sure that she doesn't want any other more strokes on this hole.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be a triple bogey for her, bringing her back to 8 under par. Still a really solid day, but
absolutely,
man, the separation you can get after one round, if you're 6 strokes better than second place after a single round, makes the rest of the tournament a lot easier.
For sure. You can just put on the cruise control and enjoy.
Yeah, now it's a battle again.
Yeah. Wow, that's more to be excited for tomorrow when we see this this women play again and see what they are doing tomorrow differently on the 18th.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk about it more in a little bit, but I'm really interested to see how they change their game plan on quite a few holes, especially if the wind starts to pick up and other things like that start to come into play. But really, for Kristen, there's not a lot of things that I think she should change except for how she attacks the green of 18.
Good reaction out of her.
Still a solid day. 2 down.
For sure. I'm happy to see that the younger generation did not crumble under the pressure. That was major takeaway from this one. Good putt for bogey. Winning her card with a bogey. Did not see that one coming after the drives.
And Kristen will drop to 3 shots over Togias Monistay at 5. And we have ourselves a tournament.
Absolutely. Wow, what a roller coaster ride.
You got to love when a course without a lot of length gives you a show like this and lets players shine in really unique ways, but also challenges in very unique ways as well. And for 17 holes, Kristen gave us the champion performance that we were expecting of her all season. Yeah, the dominance that I feel like has not been as consistent recently, but then one single hole, 18, comes into play.
Like the 16 in the Beast. Very, very, very similar way, I'd say.
Very similar.
So, quick break to the ads, and after that we are gonna have the OTB shot of the day and interviews from Kristin and Anneli, the 2 hottest round of the day. So don't go anywhere, be right back.
What's going on, guys? Hold My Bag just launched the greatest disc golf fantasy game in the universe.
Hold My Bag just dropped the best fantasy disc golf game the planet has ever seen.
I want to tell you guys about the newest disc golf fantasy game on the market.
One of my favorite parts is the Hold My Bag. This is something that we started doing, and it's actually a lot of fun.
Bend the reality of what a disc can be and discover Ultra Soft plastic. Ultra Soft has the best grip and flex of any plastic Prodigy has ever made. Check out the entire collection today on prodigydisc.com or your local retailer.
Discover Estonia. Feel the thrill of Tallinn. The European Disc Golf Festival kicks off July 17th with the world's top players. Get your tickets now at svibi.com.
EDGE is a nationally recognized 501c3 charitable organization.
What we do is we empower the teachers with complete programming along with the equipment and a standardized curriculum. So you have a one-stop shop for teachers and youth educators. That's really what EDGE is. It makes everything simple for the teacher to get involved with disc golf.
If we want disc golf to be recognized, we need to introduce disc golf to the youth. And if nothing else, they've got a healthy game that they can enjoy with their families throughout the rest of their lives.
We are outside.
We are together. Oh my!
We are healthy.
We are inclusive.
Smile.
Smile. You are playing
disc golf.
PDGA Europe.
Smile.
So, we are back, and Brian, what a roller coaster. I cannot emphasize it enough.
Let's talk about a few things. First and foremost, I'm blown away at the poise of both Idas that played on this feature card with Kristen and Paige. When they wake up in the morning and they know that they're playing with two of the greatest players of all time, what are they thinking? What emotions are they feeling? But then they show up and they do the thing that they've been doing for the past however many years, training to be as good as these players. And for them to come out and show the game that they have when the cameras are on, when the fans are watching, that gets me excited about the future of disc golf. And I think they held their own and then some.
Absolutely, I agree with you totally on that, and I love the high level of commitment that they had. They both played on high level of commitment, and I think that we left in a good note, even though the 18 was rough for every player in the card, but we left out with a good note, and I'm excited to see what they can do tomorrow, even though they are not in the video card on the lead card tomorrow, but anything can happen.
Well, Kristen showed the kids what it takes to be a champion today, and luckily we caught up with Kristen after the round. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Absolutely.
Perfect. We're here with Anneli, 5 under par. emphatic 500 par with 2 basket hits, including a near eagle on the 18th. Talk to us. How are you feeling?
I didn't know that I was shooting so well. I felt like so awesome when I was driving. My drives were super good. I had a little putting error on hole 9 or 10. I don't know. We had to wait a long time, so I lost my momentum, but I got it back, so here I am.
Well, can you kind of touch on the challenge that you face out there? You just mentioned to me off camera that there's a lot of danger looming. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, there's a lot of OBs and also very low shots. So if you miss your height, you're in big trouble, and there's a lot of tight caps. So I'm really happy that I was able to shoot them perfectly today.
Yeah, 5 down. It's an exceptional number, and you're going to find yourself on the lead card. Talk to us. What is that feeling like going to be playing with Kristen Latt tomorrow?
Well, I have been like playing with Kristen before, so it's nothing new.
Cool.
But I'm just gonna rest up and try to do the same tomorrow.
All right, Anneli, congratulations on the 500 par and the near eagle on the 18th. And you know, final question: what is it like playing here in Norway? I know this is your first time out here. What's the feeling like when you see the fjords in the backdrop?
It's my first time in PCS, but I've been here before, like a lot, so I know Norway very well.
Cool.
But it's so beautiful, and even if you do some bad shots, it's still gonna look like this.
Right. Well, congratulations again, and we'll see you tomorrow for round 2.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're here now with Kristen. Kristen, your first round at the age of 33, and you kind of seem to leave planet Earth there for a little bit. 7 birdies in a row. Talk to us about how your day felt.
Day felt good. I took a day off yesterday, so I felt like I had more power today and I was more present. I feel like all of my tee shots were amazing. Unfortunately, some of the approach shots weren't so good, and on the last hole it resulted in a triple bogey because of that. So yeah, you know, I'm not perfect, so it's okay.
Well, I want to ask you about one of your shots earlier in the day, and Brian Earhart was really keen to know. It was on the 9th, right? You weren't in the prime position. You were over there by the Viking shield, and you went with the standstill forehand through the gap. I want you to kind of walk us through that shot. What disc were you throwing there, and how were you able to shape and get it up to speed without any run-up?
Yeah, the tee shot, that was actually one of the tee shots that I wasn't happy with, because I was typically by the creek when I was practicing, and I did the forehand flex. So it was a little bit of unusual place for me, and I mean, there was only one option. I saw one line, and it was like a forehand that just goes over a little bit and then pulls straight. I knew my grace would do the job if I throw it perfectly, but I was like, what are the chances for me to throw it perfectly? Maybe I should like play a safe 4, just do like a forehand flex around the trees. I saw that there was a lot bigger opening, so it seemed like a better shot, but I was like, nah, I might get a birdie if I go for that shot, and I just send it, and it was perfect.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, Paige was right there, and she was shouting and came over to ask you about it right away. Yeah. Well, I want to ask you, what does it feel like? You know, 7 birdies in a row out here with OB all around. I mean, what does that flow state feel like from your perspective?
Not thinking about really anything. Just playing disc golf. Also, when I make a mistake, like I took that bogey on hole 15, which was out of nowhere. I thought I threw two perfect shots, and I even measured. I was like, no way I'm gonna reach OB with my glory with a big hyzer, and I did. And I was a little bit disappointed for a moment. I think that's why I missed the putt, but then I sort of brought myself back, and I was like, it's okay. Like, just do what you've been doing the whole round. And I was able to pick up a couple of birdies. Unfortunately, yeah, the last one got out of my hands, but most of the day I felt truly felt in a flow state, then it's a very nice place to be that I haven't really experienced for a long time. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, they were saying Grand Slam Kristen has returned. Well, I want to ask you, of course, the 18th, you never won a triple bogey, but why is it possible on the 18th here at Overås?
I think it's not about the level of difficulty of the shots. It's making mental errors. That's what I did, at least. I felt like it. I thought I was committing to the upshot, but at the same time, I was truly just overthinking when I should have just thrown without any thoughts. That's what I had been doing the whole round. Just let my body take over, and I was trusting my discs. I was trusting what my body was doing, and it worked out. But then I started to doubt a little bit, and it resulted in a triple bogey. But just have to forgive myself and come back tomorrow, and hopefully I can experience that flow state again. It was very beautiful.
Well, Kristen, thanks so much for your time. Guys, that's Kristen Lott with a 3-stroke lead over the field. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I think Anneli and Kristen, they really summed up the things that we were actually having discussion here about the shot, especially the height in many holes. The height of the shot is very crucial, and then the flow state.
Definitely. And again, we felt that today. And I'm glad to see that Kristen acknowledged it as well, because her standards are a lot higher than everybody else's. So it's great to hear that from her. The one thing I have to say, Anneli, 5 missed circle 1 putts. Evelina Salonen, 4 missed circle 1 putts. Kristen only missed 1 on the day. So I still think this could be a battle. Those days could flip, and Kristen could have a rough day on the putting green, and either of those two players could catch her. So I think because of the triple bogey on 18, I think we have ourselves a tournament, and Kristen's going to have to keep tapping into that flow state.
Absolutely. She leveled out the, the scores on the last one, but I think same, and it's going to get down to the putting yet again, how crucial it is. And I don't think that Kristen is going to make those putting errors that much, but there could be something else, like we saw. Couple of sort of shots on 18, so anything can happen, and I think that Evelina can have 90, 100, almost 100 C1X, so why not?
Yeah.
So, are you excited for the OTP shot of the day?
I already know what it is.
I'm quite sure you don't know.
If it's not the forehand on 9, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done for.
I'm voting for the unleashed shot on 18.
I understand that's a 6 shot. I get it.
Anyhow, let's roll it.
It's the difficulty of the shot that blows me away. But I get if it is the 18. All right. All right.
The 18. Thank you, whoever selected the shot. It was not me. I did not have any participate. But hey, it's a daring shot, and as we can see, anything can happen this hole. She hit the flag twice today.
Wow.
Imagine if it would have dropped slowly inside the basket from the top. So, we are rounding up to the end. On the screen you can see our broadcast times for the weekend. Don't forget to tune up for MPO round starting 3 p.m. Central European time, 9 a.m. at the US Eastern time, 6 a.m. at USPT Pacific time. Thank you. So, I was happy to be here. Hopefully we'll see in the future. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everyone.
It was a pleasure. We'll see you next time, folks.
Have a good day.